Hey, beautiful people. Good evening. Good evening, guys. Welcome back to our channel. How's everyone doing? Thank you very much for being here tonight. I hope you are good. Sister Gigi, how are you? Hello, Budu fam. Thank you very much for stopping by tonight. Today is the 6th of February, the year of our Lord 2022. I hope everybody is doing well. Happy Sunday. I hope you all have you've had a good weekend. We thank the Lord Almighty for another day. Thank you very much, Obodo fam. If you are joining us for the first time, this is Obodo Igbo TV. If you're watching from television, you cannot subscribe. Please join our family by subscribing. I'm telling you, you want to be a part of this because the kind of conversation we have here, you have it no other place. We have very stimulating, diverse communication and conversations that are relevant to our lives as Africans in the diaspora, especially, and Africans worldwide. Please subscribe, hit the like button as you're coming into the studio. Thank you all so much, Obodo fam, for your love and your support. So I have a guest tonight, and her name is Esse, and she's come here to is a kind of testimony and is also relating to her experience, her life lived experience. So she's come to share with us tonight, and we'll take it from there. She's actually written a book. Yeah, you know how a lot of people come here and they say, I'm going to write a book, I'm going to write a book. Esse has written a book. She's an author. She has shared her story on this book. We'll talk about it later on. First of all, Obodo fam, let's welcome Esse. Welcome, Esse, to Obodo Igbo TV.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Aunty, for having me on your show. It's a great honor to be here.
You're welcome. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Coming from Aunty B, that's a huge compliment. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Yeah, you are you have a platform as well. So I'm not going to ask if you are nervous because you are not. You are a very confident speaker, and you are used to cameras and sharing and talking, public speaking virtually. So this is your domain. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
being here. Okay. So we've come here tonight for a number of reasons. But first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Mm. My name is Esse Panya'S. I'm a mom to a beautiful girl. I'm married to the best man in the whole world. Best for only me. I don't know if anybody else can handle him. So the best man in the world for me. Yeah, I'm a life coach. I'm a talk show host. I host a show as well on YouTube. And what else? What else about me? I'm a fun-loving person. I believe in people, and yeah, basically, I just try to reach out to as many people as I can.
Thank you very much, Esse. You are especially very, very passionate about young people.
Yes, I am.
And there's something I normally see on this platform all the time. And I took it from Oprah. And she said that our own experiences gives us empathy to stop others from suffering the same fate.
It's true.
And there was something I read from your book today. There are quite a number of very, very lovely quotes on your book, I must say. You did an amazing job. Well done.
Thank you.
I love the simplicity of the book. The way you wrote it is like it's like you are talking. You see the way we are communicating and we're talking. The book is actually written like that. So it's very easy to understand, And this is what you said. One of your quotes on the book say, hurt people, they say. And I say, hurt people won't hurt people if hurt people heal.
Yeah.
Wow. That's very, very profound. That's deep. That's deep. We
That's
should be
my
quoting you
favorite
now. That's really, really deep. That's really deep. So yeah, I like that. I like that. It makes a lot of sense that when you are hurt, if you don't, heal, then you are likely to hurt people as well. So that's
Yeah,
basically what you are saying. And
yes.
you have had experiences of being hurt as a child. So we're basically going to be talking about your childhood trauma,
Mm-hmm.
from family and also from, your grooming and subsequent abuse that happened to you.
Yeah.
So let's start from your background because when you started your book, you were talking about going to live with family members. Was
Yes.
there a reason why you had to go and live with family members?
Okay, so when I was really young, uh, that's what polygamy does sometimes, sadly. I come from a very polygamous family. And when I say polygamous, it's not just my father that married more than one wife. My husband, my mom was also married a couple of times. So she had eight of us for different men. Yeah. So I had to at a point one of her relatives decided, you know what, let me take one of your kids from you. And she decided to take me because she had a daughter as well. So she thought, okay, and we're about the same age. So she thought, okay, I mean, they will be like playmates to each other and stuff like that. So let me take her off you. And then you can concentrate on the other kids. So, which is what a lot of family members do. My mom just left a marriage at that time. She was just starting off somewhere else. So I think, I was really young. I don't know the main reasons why. I just know that I had to go live with my auntie and I left my mom and my siblings behind, or some of
Right,
my siblings behind.
right. And this experience for you was quite negative, living with people, living
Yes.
with this particular. And tell us a little bit about that experience of living with, and because I know you lived with quite a number of people, but it started off with this your auntie.
Yes. So um negative because she was a very strict person. Very, when I say strict, it's not the average strict home. This is over the top strict. Like um you're at home and everybody is happy, everybody's doing their own thing. But the minute you hear the honk of the horn, of the car's horn, you know that it's like what would I say? The beast is back. So it was an environment of fear. We lived in fear. Even her daughter, everybody was afraid of her because in hindsight, I think that I don't know why she was not a happy person, but that was the impression that we got. She wasn't happy. She was always angry. She was always finding fault in everything. Now, there was money. She had money. She was very rich, right? So it's not like, oh, we're scrambling to make ends meet and then she was frustrated because there was no. There was money. We had helps in the house. Okay. But as kids, we didn't understand why she was always angry. She would come back home and there's always something. So we practically lived in fear,
Hmm.
So we weren't comfortable. Everything was done in fear. Everything was done out of fear. You don't know what you would say or do that would be right or wrong. I mean, compared to the way parents are with their children now, So it was just an environment that was toxic for us, the children. It was only when we were in school we could express ourselves. Okay, at home you can't even complain that, oh, I'm hurt, or I'm, because you don't know how they're going to respond or how they're going to react. You can go and tell them you got hurt and then you get a beating for it.
Hmm.
So a lot of times, just keep it to yourself. Just amongst us, the kids will decide, okay, you know what, this has happened. Let's try and cover it up. I know what to do to, ease this pain and stuff like that. Let's not take it to mommy. Everybody calls her mommy, and all of that because you don't know if it's a very bad day for her. Her response is going to be very terrible, and you're going to end up worse than when you went to her in the first place. So everybody just used to be in, our own little boxes, and then when
Hmm.
she's not around, then we're free to express ourselves.
You
So
were
that's
happy when
basically how we grew up.
you were happy when she was not there. Was she the only adult in the home, or did she have a husband?
She was the only adult. She wasn't
Okay,
married.
she wasn't
Yes, then she
married.
wasn't married. Yeah, but she was when I went to live with her, she was in a relationship. So the guy used to come around. Okay. And I think, yeah, when the guy comes around, things are a little bit sane, because I mean, he's her boyfriend, right? So he probably makes her happy, and she's in a happy mood, and so things are a little bit okay for us. We can play around and stuff like. But once he goes, everybody's back to
We're
back
back to square
as you
one.
were.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay. Right. So that was growing up in your auntie's house. At
yeah,
some point, you had to leave to go to live in Lagos. Was this auntie in Lagos when the
yeah,
auntie you're
yeah.
living
So
with?
when I left my mom, I came to Lagos to live with her.
Okay. How did you get
So
to your uncle's house? Because I know you also lived with your uncle at some point in your
Ye-
childhood.
be- yeah, so she traveled at some point, right? And then um when she traveled, she didn't want to take me back to my mom, so she just took us to my uncle's place now, right? So her daughter and I actually moved in with my uncle.
She traveled abroad.
Yeah, she traveled abroad.
How old were you at that point when you went to live with this uncle?
We were about 9, between 8 and I lived with him till I was like 10, 11.
Was the uncle married?
No, he wasn't married.
So your auntie took two young girls, to go and live with an uncle that is not married because she
Hmm.
was traveling abroad and she decided to put you with this uncle. And in your book, you described, I was reading it when you were living with this uncle, how the place was just like a meeting point. Men
Yes,
were
he
coming
was.
and going, some were bringing their girlfriends. I mean, it was a lot of shenanigans going on in this house where these two young girls are living.
Yeah.
How was it for you?
Okay, so I think for us, it was a bit better than living with her, honestly, because I mean, men are usually more easygoing. They were strict as well. My uncle was also
Mm,
strict, don't get me wrong, but I don't think we're as scared of him as we were of her. And because there were always people in the house, when people come, they want to um play with the kids and stuff like that. So, that just made it a little bit of fun for us. They all came bearing gifts. Oh, there are kids in the house. You had some of them who, consciously come like, Esse and this other person is in the house, so they'll come with gifts. And even their girlfriends, warmed up to us. They used to take us out and stuff like that. So it was better, except for when we got into trouble for whatever reasons, which I think is pretty much normal. Adults and children living together, there would always be issues. Kids would do naughty things, they would get scolded and stuff like that. Yeah, but outside of that, it was okay. We're free. We're free to do pretty much anything as long
You
as
were
your
just
chores are
enjoying
done, you're
you were
good.
just enjoying the freedom of leaving your auntie's house because auntie's house was like prison.
I was. It was that was prison. And don't get me wrong, we were registered in the best clubs in Lagos. I mean, we're
Mhm.
living in first from Ikoyi, we moved to Maryland. Yeah, and it was a huge house. And we were registered in Ikoyi Club. So we had, like I said, money wasn't the problem,
You had
right?
money
But
what can buy, but you didn't have affection.
we
You
didn't
didn't
have
have love.
affection. The love
Mm,
wasn't there,
okay.
so like there was no patience in going through your homework with you. Go and do your homework. If you get it wrong, you're in trouble. There's nothing like, okay, let me try and understand why you don't understand this particular topic or subject or stuff like that. It was just you had to know it. I'm paying a lot of money, so you had to get it right. With my uncle, it wasn't really like that. He enjoyed teaching us sometimes when he had the time.
Mm,
Otherwise, there was a lesson teacher who would come to the house, so they were paying for the lesson teacher. So I mean, you had no reason to fail at all.
okay.
Okay, and then because in my uncle's house there was every day they taught us a lot of things, good things too. Scrabble. At that age, I'd started playing Scrabble. I'm adult Scrabble, not children's Scrabble. I don't think they even had children's Scrabble then. We're playing Monopoly with the adults. We're playing pool with the adults. Things that really got you thinking.
Mm,
On
mm,
you get what I'm saying. And then we're watching the news, and they would set up questions. They will
mm.
just have us watch the news with them, and then they will give us questions. What did they say in the news? What was this person referring to? Just, brain teasers and
So
stuff like that.
you learned, but there was also inappropriate behavior going on
A
in the
lot
midst
of
of
it.
all this learning.
A
There was
lot of it.
inappropriate behavior. And this brings us to Uncle Dave. You talked about Uncle
Mm-hmm.
Dave in your book. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about Uncle Dave.
Okay. So Uncle Dave was one of the uncles that would come always bearing gifts. Now, Uncle Dave was a bit different because he seemed like he was genuinely interested in me. Okay. Um, I don't know if there was anything going on with my cousin, but as far as I was concerned, I know that if he comes, and there were several times he would come to the house, and maybe my uncle was angry with us and were under punishment, and then you ask, okay, where are these children? Oh, they are upstairs, they've been naughty. And then you'd be like, ah, no, 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 bring them downstairs. You can't leave them upstairs now. What's it? Esse, come, this person, and then we'll come, and then you'll be like, look, they are kids, leave them alone. So we loved Uncle. Uncle Dave is always, backing us up. What did they do? No, you can't punish them for that. Esse, get up from there, and stuff like that. So every time he comes, I'm excited. Like, he's like my savior, my spokesperson, the person who I can actually go to and say, oh, this is what happened though. And I don't know why Uncle behaved like this, but this is not how I meant it and stuff like that. And he'd be like, oh, don't worry about it. It will be fine. You're an intelligent girl. So he just used to talk to me a lot more than the other uncles who just came, gave gifts, and then maybe sent you one or two errands and stuff like that. He seemed genuinely interested in me
Until
until okay,
mhm.
so um before he came into the picture, I was already exposed. Like, the environment was very um was very free. We used to go to adult parties with them. So we used to see, guys toasting girls at that age. And I even had one uncle then that would be telling me, see those two girls, I'm going to talk to them. This one is going to agree. Now, things that children had
Children
no
should not be,
business,
yeah, things children should not
knowing.
be exposed to. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. So before he came into the picture, I'd been reading Mills and Bones. I'd been watching romantic movies. So I had this, you know, idea of what my adult life should look like. I mean, I see it all around me, right? The men are bringing their girlfriends and then they're going up to the bedrooms. What are they doing in the bedrooms? We're seeing parts of it in the movies and stuff like that. So I had that kind of, oh, okay, so you fall in love with a man and then you get married and you guys live happily ever after and stuff like that. So now I was young, but I was already thinking ahead. Remember that we come from a culture where once you're done with school, the next thing they are hammering into your head is you have to get married, you have to get married. So for
Mhm.
me, this is someone who seemed interested in me. So it first started with the praises, and then I'll come from school with my report card and say, "Oh, Uncle Dave, I did well. I came out tops and everything," and you praise me. "Oh, you're not only beautiful, you're intelligent. Your husband is going to be very lucky. The man who is going to marry you is going to be very lucky." And I used to be so proud of myself, like, oh, for this man who is an adult to see all this in me,
Was
you
he
know.
married, Uncle Dave? Did he have a wife?
No, he wasn't married.
But he was spending a lot of time in your uncle's house, even when your uncle was not around, visiting you
Yes,
guys.
yes, he was,
Okay.
you know. So
Right.
yeah, so that was how we basically started. And then playful, just playful. He would just be playful. Oh, okay, let's watch this movie. Oh, come, let me take you girls out. Let's go and buy burger. Let's go and buy ice cream, the things that kids like. And then one day we'll be like, oh, sit on my lap, let me show you something. Oh, let me talk to you about something and stuff like that. And innocent me, I would just sit on his lap, not thinking anything of it. In my head, I just thought, oh, this guy really likes me. You
How old were you
understand?
at that time?
I was about 10 now.
Okay. So that's I'm going to read this about Uncle Dave when you were describing this his behavior. You said that he came, and I'm reading from chapter 4, and you said he came one day and said that he had decided to wait for me till I'm old enough to get married.
Mhm,
All this while, I thought we were related. And
mhm,
so I asked him if he wasn't forbidden since we were related. I mean, he had been introduced to me as an uncle, right? And then he said, "You shouldn't worry." And this is how he wrote. He said I shouldn't worry about that because he could sacrifice a cow to appease the family.
mhm,
Although he laughed when he said it, but he said it in a very serious way. He was serious when he said it. So he started saying things like, "Oh, After complimenting you about how the man that will marry you will be so lucky, all that, then he started talking about waiting for you to be matured enough to marry you.
Yes.
So as a child, 10, you were 10. How did that
Yeah.
make you feel? I mean, I know you were exposed, but still, 10 is young.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, because of the fondness of I had already, started to develop towards this man, I was actually excited. Now it was all the talk first, not touching, nothing had happened. So in my head, in my little brain, um, I mean, someone wanted to wait for me till I was old enough for him to get married. Now, before I continue, let me quickly say this. You know, when your kids back then, we're used to hearing grown men saying, this your picking fine, no, me go marry him.
Mm-hmm,
Do
mm-hmm.
you understand? Yes. So
Yes.
I've had a lot of that. Even before I moved to Lagos, when I was living with my mom, I had a lot of people, and my mom would even laugh and say, because it was okay back then
Mm-hmm,
to betroth your child, your little girl, to someone who is way older, with the hope that when the girl is mature enough, you will send her off to her husband's house. So I've been hearing stuff like that. So for me, it was exciting that I am seeing, look, Uncle Dave was not my only crush. Robin Hood was my crush. So Robin Hood could have come to my house and said, I will marry you. And at that age, I would have agreed to marry Robin Hood. So
mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to talk about the state of mind
Yeah, that's
of the 10-year
understandable.
old.
You're a child.
You
Yeah,
understand
that's
what I'm saying? So,
understandable. Yeah,
so I was excited. I was
yeah.
very happy that at my age. Now, remember that we had girlfriends coming into the house
Mm-hmm,
crying over men that had refused to marry them.
mm-hmm,
Yet at 10, a man is telling me he would wait for me.
mm-hmm.
Aren't I lucky?
Yeah,
So that was how I felt.
yeah. And he knew you would feel like that because this is what grooming is like that. It's to make you feel like you are very special, you stand out, you are different, but it is down the road that the child will understand what is coming.
Yeah,
And you did
yeah.
eventually. Tell us a little
Eventually,
bit
yeah.
about how that progressed.
Okay, so like I explained in the book, at some point, we had to pack up house. Like my uncle also now traveled, and then we
Yeah.
we had to leave the house, and then I had to go live with someone else. So I didn't see Uncle Dave for a while. Okay, so I went on to secondary school, and I didn't we weren't in touch. I think when I was writing my WAEC, the GCE one, not the SSC one, I ran into him on the way, right, from my center. He was actually with his girlfriend in the car, and he picked me up. I said, "Oh, where are you going?" So I was so happy, Uncle Dave, after so long, and everything, and all that. And then I saw that there was a woman in front of the car. I was already feeling like, who is this one? Oh, come and pack your load and be going, please, this is my
Your
husband.
future husband.
You understand? But I also thought, okay, well, I'm not yet old enough, so whatever. And I mean, from the home that I come from, my uncles and their experiences, I've seen girlfriends come and go. They will
Mhm.
finish with this one and then it's the next one. And me, they're not telling me girlfriend, they're telling me married. So
They say
you
they
can
want
do
to
your
marry
girlfriend
you.
dates. When I'm old enough, I'm the one who's going to marry him.
So you took
So
the marriage proposal very
very
seriously.
seriously, very
Hmm.
seriously for years.
Hmm.
For
Uh,
years. Even when I think that I was now much older, and I'd been seeing him with girlfriends now and everything. Because I actually asked him, what's going on? What's with these girls? And then I've actually now experienced girls fighting over him. And I'm
mhm.
like, all these girls, that are just fighting themselves for nothing. The man is
Yes, sir.
mine. Like,
The man that is waiting for you.
you get
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So one day when I was bold enough, I don't know whether it's boldness or curiosity or jealousy or whatever, I had to ask him, what's with these people? And then he told me, he said, don't mind any of them. When you're
The time
ready,
comes. Hmm.
yes. That it's not going to be easy for me to go home and tell your people. They will not, your brothers, especially will not want to give you away like that and stuff like that. So we have to, take our time and stuff like that. And I was like, okay.
There's a point. I want to read this. So after that, where you wrote in the book where you said that he said he will kill a goat. That was when the issue of
A
I will
cow.
marry you first started. A
Yeah,
cow to appease the family because you thought you were related biologically, right? So
yeah.
you wrote here that the next time he came, I was alone. He asked for a kiss. He said he couldn't help himself when he's around me. I had mixed feelings about his request, but I didn't want to lose him. What if he changed his mind about waiting for me? What if he
Yeah.
found someone else to marry? What if he didn't find what if I didn't find someone else to marry?
Hmm.
So this was he kissed you. This is the first time he kissed you.
Yeah.
And this was this after your uncle traveled or before your uncle traveled that this happened?
This was after my uncle traveled.
Okay, right. And okay, just tell us a little bit about that because I know that your plan or what you thought kissing would be. Obviously, you were still a child. He had no business doing that. That is
Yeah.
completely wrong and inappropriate. But he did it
Hmm.
anyway. And you said that you were very disgusted because there was too much saliva and you were like, ew, what's this? Yeah, right.
Okay, yeah. So before I answer that question, I had said before that Uncle Dave is not his real name, right? It's just the name that I
That's all right.
gave to
That's
him
fine.
because
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. So I had a very wild imagination about what kissing would be like. When you're reading novels and stuff like that, they kiss and they describe the way the kiss made them feel and stuff like. It didn't make me feel like that. I was looking forward to something that would make me actually fall in love, with this person. But I was like, sa- it was disgust. It was just disgusting to me. Why so much saliva? I don't know what I thought kissing would be when you see lips locking and stuff like that. But when it actually happened, it just didn't seem right. And
How
that's
old
when I started
how
to
old
feel
was
uncomfortable.
yeah, how old was Uncle Dave at this point? And you were still like how old
I
what's the
was
age
still like 10,
difference?
11.
You were
He's
10, 11,
15 years older than me. Although
15
then I
years.
didn't know. So he would have been like 26, 25, 26.
Okay. Was that the age bracket of your uncle as well?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So there was about maybe 20 something years of you said 15 years age bracket.
Yeah.
Okay. There was another experience that you described in the car when he was
Okay.
driving in the car and he attempted to do something. Tell
Yeah.
us about it.
Okay. So we now at this point, I had experienced rejection and abandonment from my own family on several occasions. Okay. So um it was one of those times after secondary school when I ran into him. I now knew where he lived and stuff like that. And then he had been sent out of my auntie's house now for one of, it was that was a cycle. You do something wrong, they don't fling your bags out, get out onto the street, they don't care where you are and all that. So that one of those times I went to Uncle Dave and then he took me in. All right. So now he got me like ushering jobs, right? That was my first experience with ushering jobs before I even started my own company years later, And so it was for me, it was an escape because now I didn't have to go back to my family members who were, psychologically, mentally, and emotionally abusing me because I could actually work and get money to go to school, but I just needed a place to stay, and he offered that. So I had gone with him on this job. He's actually an entertainer, right? He's in
Mm-hmm.
the Nigerian entertainment industry. So
Mm-hmm.
he had done a show, and we're coming back from this show, and so he started to touch me. I was sitting in front. We were just both of us in the car, and then
Mm-hmm.
he now started to touch me. Now I built up a lot of anger over the years because of my experience with my own family members and everything that I've been going through. All the anger of I don't understand why these people keep, treating me this way, why they keep sending me out, and all of that. Why they didn't love me and all that. So very little things were like triggers to me. So for me, I was like, I came to you for help. Why are you trying to touch me? If you say you're going to wait till I'm ready, what is this? Do you get? So And that wasn't the first time. Okay. So every time that he had tried to do it, I had put up this resistance, But because I didn't have anywhere to go, I'll get angry, I'll cry, and then I'll just go and sleep. And then the next day he will look for something, and then I'll look at it like, you know what? At the end of the day, he's not throwing me out of his house. My own flesh and blood, they keep throwing me out. I don't have anywhere to go. I don't know what to do. My flesh, in fact, my auntie told me once that, look, your mates are doing prostitution. Go and, if you want to really go to school that bad, go and do, stuff like that. I don't know if that word is allowed, so I'll just say go and do
Ashawo,
runs or whatever.
Ashawo,
Yeah,
Ashawo.
Ashawo, okay.
Mm.
You
So
know.
there was a point you said that um, there was a lot of hostility about, with your auntie because you talked about your family now, the
Mhm.
rejection, growing up with all that lack of love, lack of rejection, and, having all that trauma built up. And your auntie obviously was not a very affectionate or even loving person. And she
She's
said
still not.
something like, I think I underlined it, where she said that, was she the one that said, I don't know if it's the same auntie because there seem to be a lot of them now. One of them said to you that, what's the point of paying your school fees when you're going to end up in a man's house anyway? You're going to end up
Okay.
in a man's kitchen.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's my uncle. So we've in the story talks about the two main people that I lived with as a child. So my auntie, the first person she traveled, then my uncle. So
Mhm.
now after my uncle traveled, yeah, my auntie came back when I was in SS1. So I went back to live with her. Okay, so I lived with her for a while. The same this uncle that also traveled now came back. Yeah, and then there was a misunderstanding between them that was taken out on me, unfortunately. Do you understand? It was between them, their brother and sister. So
Okay.
it happened between them. But somehow I got roped into the whole mix. So she threw me out of the house. And because he felt, oh, this happened because of him. He was still going back abroad. He wasn't coming back to Nigeria like, yeah. He just came for a while and he was going to go back. He said, you know what, I'm going to put you somewhere and then I'm going to pay your school fees. Then I was now in SS2 when this thing happened. So I only had 1 year left. I had SS2, I think, SS2 third term, and then SS3 left. So he said, I'm going to pay the remaining 1 year. And so after that 1 year, I finished my SS3. That was when he said this to me. Because I was excited. I was like, okay, fine. So I finished school and I finished, I made my GCE before my SSE even came out, before I sat for the SSC. I'd already done because I did GC when I was in SS2, and
Mhm.
I came out in flying colors. Yes, I had good results and all that. So I'd already started because my friends had started going into the university. So I started, looking forward to getting into the university and all that. And he said to me, "I'm not going to waste my money on you. This no,
Mhm.
he's supposed to be exposed, but go back, go to worry and go and look for a man to marry you." And
Mhm.
you can't blame me. A lot of young girls, 18, 19, 20, 21, they were getting married back home in Delta State. They were not going to the university.
Mhm. But you
So he
wanted to
told me,
go to
but I
university.
wanted to go to school. So
Mhm.
that really, really hurts me. And then I left where he put me because it was his friend's place, right? Now it was his friend and her friend's place. She actually came there to tell me that I should leave. She told the woman to drive me out of the house, out of her place. So he was like, well, there's nothing I can do about it. Go to where you go and look for a man to get married to. So he was the one who said it, not her.
Okay. Right. Somebody asked a question before we continue. We're going to go carry on now. Somebody asked a question. Child of February said, please, Sister Esse, how has this childhood trauma affected you now as an adult? I want to know, please.
Okay, so when I was in the university, yeah, it wasn't just the childhood abuse, it was just a lot, everything roped in one. Okay, the rejection, the abandonment. So when I was in the university, I was in a very dark place. I had a lot of anger, I had a lot of resentment, I had a lot of bitterness built up because I just didn't understand why
Hmm.
me.
Hmm.
I was with my mother. You should have just left me there. You didn't have to come, because I believe that no matter how bad at least my parents would have still tried their very best.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get me? So why bring me only to abandon me now? And then look at everything that I've been through under your roof. Of course, I couldn't even bring myself to tell them these things. Okay, there are so many more that happened that is not in the book, right? So now, how it affected me is that I was angry. I had trust issues, especially with men. Oh God, I hated men. Now, my mom has 5 boys. I don't have issues getting along with guys. Don't get me wrong. But the minute you show interest beyond friendship, my red flags are like, it's like I just built up a wall. Like no man comes near me. I've had people tell me severally that you are too rigid. Loosen up. What?
Mm-hmm.
Because when a man comes close to me, I'll tense up like, because I don't want you to touch me in the wrong way. I don't even want you to try that. Other than that, I'm okay around guys. But I realized that I was always angry. I was always angry. People will make a joke about something, and I'll be very upset. And I would just start screaming and shouting at them. My friends used to look at it that this Esse, she knows how to reko. If you try her, she's very, she's very tough. She's very disciplined. But it was just a lot of anger,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
lost a lot of friends. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna lie.
How did you deal with all that anger?
Okay, first things first. I realized when I started losing friends, I realized that okay, something must be wrong, because if I'm the one factor, I'm the common denominator here now. Everybody else is saying the same thing about me. So there must be something wrong. So I started to ask questions. I started to look. And then for the people who could talk to me, a lot of them came out and said, Esse, you get angry too much. You take things too personally, you know, and, stuff like that. So I decided, okay, you know what? I don't want to be this person. I don't like fighting with people all the time. I don't like quarreling all the time. I know that, yes, I can express myself. I can defend myself, because that's the thing. You're always trying to defend yourself.
Defensive.
And
You're
it's
always
not just
defensive.
myself.
Yes.
And it's not just myself. Even when I see a man treating a girl the wrong way, my I'm up. My friends used to call me vulture, defender of the universe. The girl may not say anything, but I'm there. I'm like, no, you can't do that. You can't talk to her like that. You can't. So it was just a lot. It was too much. And because when I'm alone, after doing all of that, I'm usually broken. I would cry and cry for hours. Like, I don't like this feeling.
Mm.
On the outside, people are like, yes, she has done,
Strong girl.
stood
Mm.
up, she's brave, she's done that. But
Mm.
when I'm alone, I'm
Mm.
broken completely. I'm
Mm.
like, no, I'm just replicating the behavior that I saw in the home
Your
that I'm
auntie.
coming from that I
Yeah.
did not like.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? I don't want people to be afraid of me. I
Mm-hmm.
want my friends to love me, to want to confide in me. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I just had to, first, it was self-talk. Okay. I had to tell myself, I don't like it. If you don't like it, what do? You need to change it.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't easy because, once you've gotten used to acting in a certain way, it's difficult to break it. So what I started doing was watching. I would watch my friends, and then I would ask a lot of questions. Let me say, Aunty B now. Aunty B, this guy said this to me or did this to me, and I really felt angry. In fact, I wanted to slap him. I wanted to do this. I wanted to do that. And then, what would you have done, Auntie B, if it was you? And then I
Mm-hmm.
will listen. Like I
Mm-hmm.
say, no, you're overreacting. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have said that, and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So, next time when something like that happens, I will think in my head, what would Auntie B do?
Okay.
And then I'll calm down.
So
Okay.
you started emulating people. You started
I
modeling
started
other people's
emulating people.
behavior.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then I now started cutting off friends who were triggers or who had the same, behavioral patterns that I was trying to run away from. So if
Mm.
you're always angry all the time or you pick on little things to quarrel about and stuff like that, I just started avoiding people like that, because if you pick on it, I would also, want to make an issue out of it, and then we'll start going back and forth and screaming. No, I started cutting off from people like that and surrounding myself with the kind of friends that I actually wanted to turn out to be. So out of, say, 10 of my friends, 8 of them were pretty normal people who would not react the way I would react to certain situations. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I also started learning how to vent. Okay, so someone would do something to me, instead of me quarreling with the person, I'll just call Auntie B. I'm angry. I'm angry. And usually, yeah. So, and then my friend would listen and laugh. Esse. You're very lucky. My best friend actually was someone who helped me through a lot of all that.
Yeah,
She
peace.
comes from a large family too. Yeah.
Yeah, peace. I guess that answers your question because peace was asking if you've ever had a confidant to share your experiences with.
Yes,
So
I
you
have
just
a best
answered it.
friend. Yeah.
Okay.
Who did that?
All right. All right. Okay. Because you had to do that for you to be able to have a stable relationship today. Because you couldn't, at that point, bearing all the anger, resentment, and abandonment issues and trust issues, trauma that you had, it would have been very, very difficult for you to have, a good relationship or a good marriage. You know.
Coincidentally, I had good relationships
So you were
when
not
it
like
came
that.
to,
You were
yeah.
behaving well
So,
within the relationship.
sorry.
So how come?
Okay, so let me try and explain that. At some point, yeah, I met someone, a man, who wanted to date me, but he saw that I was rigid. He saw all the tension and everything, and he said to me, "You are suffering from the effect of abuse. I don't know exactly what happened to you or who did whatever to you, but if you don't deal with it, you will have issues in relationships." So
Hmm.
this guy started talking to me. He started walking me through it, and then he told me, "You need to look out for the kind of people you want to date. They have to be people that you see this wall, you need to be able to bring it down. Any man who cannot break down that wall cannot date you, should not date you, because they will not value you. You've got so much in you that is hiding behind all of this anger, that it will take only the right man to be able to break down that wall, to be able to see your value." And that
Hmm.
starts with me. Okay. So I didn't date a lot, like my friends. This one is crying today. Oh, but this guy broke my hand. The next day, another person has taken over. I didn't date like that. Okay.
Hmm.
I would break up, and for 2 years, I won't be in any relationship. For a whole year, I won't be in any relationship, because I
Hmm.
used to take my time. So when you're asking me out, in fact, my husband is the only person that asked me out for only 1 month before I dated him. you know I would take my time. I would test you. I will push you. I would see. For me, it's very important that we're friends. If you come up straight to me and start toasting me, forget it, man, it's not working. We need to be friends. I need to know the kind of person that you are, outside of romantic involvement and all of that. So because of that, yeah,
Hmm.
I took
Hmm.
my time.
Hmm.
And then somehow I always ended up with people who were always crazy about me. Yeah.
Okay.
So the relationships would last, not because I was good, because
Hmm.
the anger issue was still there.
Hmm.
You get me? But
Hmm.
I just ended up with people who would overlook until they could not overlook anymore. So I had long term relationships, 1 year, 2 years, 4 years.
Okay.
I'd been in relationships and it was fine.
Okay. I'm going to go to Nia's story in a minute, but before I get there, time is going very quickly. We've already done 40 minutes. I want to talk about being called a witch.
Yeah.
Okay. You were called a witch at some point, living with
Yeah.
your auntie. And you said, I remember asking my mom's pastor once if it was possible to be a witch and not know it. Because subconsciously, I had started to believe it was possible and that I was really as terrible as she made me out to be. Hmm. Okay, talk a little bit about that.
Okay. So living with my auntie was emotionally, mentally, psychologically draining. Like, seriously, every time I think about what that house, living in that environment was like, I still shudder, as in I'm still in the fear that was instilled in me. Could you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing
I
you.
saw that you dropped out for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So now, words, right, can make you or break you.
absolutely.
I kept hearing words from a very young age that were damaging and breaking to my
Hmm.
person. From one, this was someone I really looked up to, right? She was my auntie, right? And I just thought, oh, this woman must mean me well. This woman must want the best for me. But she would call me and say things like, you can never make it in this life without me. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try. You see, you can go out. If you like, you can go out, but you will always come back here. That you cannot get married, you cannot amount to anything. Whatever it is you think you want to achieve in your life, it is me that will still do it for you. So things like that just crippled me in my mind. So no matter what she did, no matter what she said, and now my mom didn't help. I love my mom to pieces, but
Yeah,
because she
a
saw
lot
this
have been
person
asking the
as a
question.
helper,
Yeah, a lot of people were asking the question. Did it ever occur to you? I know you were a child when a lot of this happened before you went to university. Did you ever contemplate going back home to worry to be with your mom?
yes, I did. So I'll just build up to that from this question that you asked about being called a witch and all that. So for every little thing that you do that is wrong, there's a story there's a heap of lie that is made out of it. Okay, because like I said, she was always throwing me out at every opportunity she got. And then for her to justify her reason for throwing me out, she would go and tell a lot of lies about me. I mean, when I was still a virgin, she told my mom that I had slept with all the boys on the streets. And because she's the older one, I don't know if it's because she's the older one, because I couldn't defend myself to anybody. It was believable. So I would go home and then they would be blaming me. Why can't you just be good? Why can't you just be patient? Why can't you just, this woman is trying to help you, and stuff like that. So I kept going back to her because when I go home to worry, my mom would tell me, I don't have money to send you to university. You have to go back there. That is where they want to take care of you. That's where the money is for you to be looked after. Just be patient. Even if you're saying that what they are saying is not true, just be patient. It's only for a while. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah. Now, where my mom was staying, she owned it. My auntie owned the house. So when I finally got tired and said, you know what? If it's this school, I dropped out of school at a point because I was fed up. I was like, it can't be this hard. And then I started to get to know Christ. And so I was like, Lord, maybe you don't even want me to go to school. Maybe that's not my destiny because all these issues are just too much. They're too everywhere. It's too much. I can't handle it anymore. So I actually dropped out of school. And then I had a plan. I'm going to work for a while and then I'll go to French school. And then, because then people were telling me, oh, if you go to French school in Badagry, from there you can go to France and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, let me try something that's not as expensive as going to the university. So I actually dropped out. But luckily for me, my school went on strike for 10 months. So all the while I was thinking in my head, I've dropped out of school. They were actually on strike, so nothing was going on, right? Now, why didn't I go home to worry? She had threatened my mom. If you take her back into your house, I will take that house from you. You understand?
This
So
woman
there was
really,
a
she
time,
really mean business. Oh.
yeah, there was a time that I had to go home because I looked at it that why should my mom suffer because of me? Why should my mom suffer because of me? Do you understand? She would lose her house, she would lose her allowance because she was the one taking care of her, to be honest. And so I went home to my mom and then I told her, I said, you know what, mom? I'm going to stop coming home for a while. And then there was no GSM, so there would have been no way to reach my mom. The only way I could reach her was if I traveled home, right? To worry. But to me, it was like, if going home meant that my mom was going to be thrown out onto the streets, then let me not go home. And then I just resigned to fate. I just said, you know what, God, I'm in your hands. I'm not going to be the reason why my mom is going
It's
to be choked
homeless.
up. So I went
It's
to my mom and
homeless.
I told her, don't worry about me. God has been taking care of me and he will continue to take care of me. But you won't see me for a long time. Just keep praying for me. So that's why I never went home to worry. And um my dad was remarried, right? So that was also not an option. I mean, I used to go and visit him.
It's okay. Take a break if you need to. Baba T, get her some water and tissue. Yeah, it's okay. Take a break. You see, when I was talking about polygamy the other day, have you seen it now? You see, everything that Esse experienced. I mean, this is not somebody that is hiding. She's written a book. She's written a book about this. This is her life. This is her story. And it's all because of polygamy. You see what I was saying about polygamy? Perhaps if her dad just had only her mom and her mom too didn't have multiple relationship and too many children, it was just her mom and dad and maybe 4 or 5 siblings, they may have been able to cope. This is the problem when if polygamous relationship, when there are many children, they can't cope, then they share the children up and down. And it is only those children that know what they go through. Bele, my darling, I say.
Yeah.
Bele, you are victorious today, and that's why you are able to share your story. Everything your auntie said you couldn't do, you've done it and more. I bet she didn't know that
Yeah.
you'll be able to come to this obodo Yibo one day, or even get married. And now
Oh,
you are happy.
oh,
Let me share a picture. Let me share a picture of your beautiful family. I don't have your child there, but let me just share a picture of you and your darling husband. Eh? That's Esse's husband. Eh? That's Esse's husband. She said you couldn't get married, and this is you now married to a fine man.
yeah, yeah. I know
You
that
have a
that's
child.
a whole
Mm.
different.
Is she still alive? This auntie.
He's still alive. When I met my husband, coincidentally, yeah, I was when I was in London with my younger brother. I was living at my brother's house.
Mm.
She told my younger brother to send me out of his house.
Okay. Some people said it in the comment section. Now I'm believing it. She is the one that is a witch,
You
not
know.
you.
So,
Mm.
but thank God for my younger brother. That he didn't do that. I mean, I would have left anyway if it had
To
come to
send
that.
you out.
Yes. Now,
Why?
what am I doing in his house? I should go and get married. My mates are married. What am I doing in his house?
It's her own daughter. What happened to her daughter? Because at the point, you wrote in the book that the daughter refused to go to school, and that's why she was so, some of her behavior was as a result of, it's like she was jealous because everything she wanted the daughter to do, the daughter was refusing, and you were pressing for education because you know the background you come from, you know your family, and you were trying to make yourself better. So is the daughter married, educated now?
The daughter went to school. She did finish school. We went to the same school and she finished her school as well. She's doing well. She's in Canada now.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is that, excuse me, she made it look as if, oh, she was even trying to protect her daughter so much, but she
Mm-hmm.
wasn't, because
Mm-hmm.
her daughter also had her own fair share of her traumas from
Trauma
her
with
mom.
her. Yeah.
Yeah,
Somebody
with her
said,
mom.
Paige said, Essay, it is because of your glory. She has seen what you did not see. So your auntie saw your glory. So a lot of people, we're going to go to Nia's story now. Because done almost 1 hour. Your story is long. The book, guys, we're going to talk about the book in a minute. A lot of people are going through childhood trauma now. Okay, even in the comment section, a lot of people have said, I'm dealing with it now. What one or two advice can you give to them, considering that you've been through the journey and you are here now by the grace of God? What would you say to people who are dealing with that kind of trauma from their childhood?
Okay, the first thing I want to say to them is congratulations. The fact that that you went through something, yeah, you're not in denial of what you went through, is already a breakthrough for you. Okay. So the most important thing, yeah, that's my darling.
That's your lovey-dovey husband.
My loving dovey husband. I called him my kangaroo. He's my everything. But
And
to
he's a
those
Nigerian
people,
man.
he's a Nigerian man, oh.
Mhm.
Nigerian Oyibo. My mom calls him my Oyibo law. He's yeah, that's my Oyibo in-law, you know, because he came and he just wiped the tears from my eyes. But I'm going to tell you something, and it answers the question of the people who are saying they're dealing with trauma. Trauma makes you feel less worthy. It makes you feel like you don't deserve the good things of life. That's a bitter lie from the pit of hell.
Mm-hmm.
Darling, you listen, the first step to healing is knowing your value by your nobody's going to tell you what you're worth. You're going to discover you're worth by yourself. You're going to make up your mind what you want. You see, that thing that you desire is what your worth is. So, like for me, I wanted a good marriage. There was a time I gave up on marriage and I didn't want to even get married anymore because the men that I was meeting were not up to the standard I had set for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said to myself, I've been through too much growing up as a child. My marriage has to be a place of rest. It has
Hmm.
to be a place of love. It has to be a place of happiness. It has to be a place that will not make me keep going to relieve my childhood traumas.
Hmm.
You understand? And my husband asked me a question when we were dating. He said, "What kind of home do you want?" And that's one of the reasons that I stuck with this man. Because a man who is ready to build a home based on my own blueprints, I don't know what else I would ask for in a man. Do you understand? But I knew what I wanted. Okay. And then I consciously, it's not easy. Those traumas always come back. You would see triggers, things will trigger you. There are times when you feel like, you know what, maybe I'm striving too high. Maybe I should bring myself a little bit low. And I did that once. Okay. And thank God for the people that God put in my life. I always say to myself that for every void that my family members created, God sent a way of escape or a people of escape or a person of escape for me. There was
Mm-hmm.
a time I was dating a guy who did not even graduate from school. He was not, and because I was like, let me just marry now. Let's me just marry, I was at that point, I actually did a talk on it on my YouTube channel where, you get to that point where anybody is okay, any man is okay. But
Pressure.
inside of me, I knew that I deserved better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when I started to pray, and then when I started to pray, the relationship started to scatter, as in the man started to misbehave. And this is somebody that had told me, I want to go home to go and meet your people. And I told my uncle, not the uncle I grew up with, my
Mm-hmm.
uncle from my father's side. The uncle I grew up with is from my mother's side. Okay. So, I mean, if I'm going to get married, it has to be from my father's side. So, my uncle from my father's side, whom I didn't know when I was growing up, who I
Mm-hmm.
just ran into after I'd finished my master's, even, you know, and all that. This we had a bond, so we used to talk all the time. And I told him, I said, Uncle, this guy that said he wants to come, he's misbehaving, he's this. So my uncle now said, okay, tell me about this guy's background. And then when I finished, he said, Esse, you're worth more than that guy. You cannot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you didn't bring that man to me because if I had questioned him, I would have sent him out of my house. You
Mm-hmm.
deserve more. Stop trying to settle. Because if you marry and settle for the man that you marry, you will never attain your
Your full
highest potential
potential.
in life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can't marry a man like that. And after my uncle said that to me, I stopped looking to settle.
Right. Okay. There's a story you started you didn't finish about how you were able to how to get people who are asking, a lot of people are going through childhood trauma, the advice that you have for them. Did you ever access therapy?
No. So I couldn't afford it. Okay. But what I did was I I love to write. So I looked for other ways to give myself therapy. I call it self therapy. Okay. One, because I was a Christian, I used to do a lot. Auntie B. The only place I didn't go to is Juju Man's house. I'm telling you. Name the church. I've
You were
been
looking
there
for
for
deliverance.
deliverance. Good. But guess what? One day, yeah, as I was praying, God just said to me, you are looking for it in the wrong places. And I was like, okay, so where's the right place now? You know what I did? I've gone to all sorts of places where they will give you holy water, anointing oil, this one, that one, that one, that one, that one. I packed all and I put them in the bin. And I said, Lord, it's me and you.
You.
If you cannot do it,
Hmm.
it cannot be done.
Hmm.
If just take my life, if you know that you're not going to move me forward from where I am right now. Because
Hmm.
honestly, I'm tired. If no matter where I am, these people come to find out, dig me out, and still continue to use these words to draw me back, to
Hmm.
run me down. I'm on
Hmm.
my own. I haven't lived with them for years, but somehow they still find ways to send messages. They will drop messages with people that they know will get to me.
Hmm.
Even until after I met my husband and I had my baby. When I met my husband, I told him I have 7 siblings. I'm only close to 1 or 2 of them. The rest I'm not close to. So he just thought, okay, maybe because of the age gap. But oh boy, he started to see with his own eyes from their own actions, their own behavior, the kind of
Why?
people they truly were. I didn't
Why?
use my mouth to say anything to him. Do you
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? So I did self-deliverance for myself. I said I'm not going to any pastor because the
Hmm.
pastors will still come to you at the
Hmm.
end of the day, right? So
Hmm.
what I did was I needed to do a prayer of agreement, right? Because the Bible says if two agree shall agree upon a thing. So I needed somebody to agree with me. And the only person I trusted in the whole world was my brother, my younger brother, right? So I
Yeah.
called him and I said, I'm doing 7 days self-deliverance. And I'm going to need you to be agreeing with me in prayer. So that was the first thing I did. Prayer helps a lot. And then I found something else. Music, writing. I write poems right from when I was in primary school. I used to write poems and stuff like that. So I went back to writing. And I realized that one of the ways that I healed was because I couldn't confront these people and say to them, these are the things you did that, really destroyed me or hurt me in this way and that way. I
Hmm.
started to write letters to them. I still have one of the letters that I wrote to my auntie explaining, like, it's as if I was trying to explaining who I was to her.
Hmm.
I'm not
You wrote to
what
her.
you see. Yeah.
You wrote
All
to
the
her.
things you're saying about me, that is not who I am. At least that's not how I feel in my heart. Those are not the thoughts that I have
Hmm.
in my heart towards you. And there was a time she told me, I mean, you're a witch. I'm convinced you're a witch because you're planning for my daughter to die so you can take her place.
Hmm.
And at that point, I was like, no, there's no coming back from this one. There's no need.
Hmm.
This woman doesn't, how can you say something like that? I want your daughter to die. What
Hmm.
will I gain if your daughter
Hmm.
died? So
Hmm.
I said, let me just completely separate myself. If that's what she's thinking, if I'm not around her, then she will not be thinking that way, right? So I had to consciously deliver myself from all those thoughts, all those seeds that have been sown in my head. You
Hmm.
cannot make it without me. Do you know, Auntie B, there are times when I will go for job interviews. I'm not a dull person, right? I will pass stage 1, stage 2, then I would remember you cannot amount to anything without me. And
Hmm.
because you had come to several places where I'd been before to
Hmm.
run me down to those people, do you
Hmm.
understand? Just to create some kind of hatred between me and those people, which she also did with her child. She created that kind of hatred between me and her child. So her child would never, have a good relationship with me. I kept thinking that if I start working, I'm doing a good job now, I pass this interview, I'll obviously be doing well. This woman will find out and she'll just come and ruin it for me. I would
Hmm.
freeze.
Hmm.
At the interview, I would freeze.
Hmm. My
There are so
goodness.
many times I've,
It's a
I've
lot.
you know,
Hmm. It's a
I'm just
lot.
on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I just think about it, this thing is going to, work out really well. I'm doing this business, is going to go well, and all of that. Then maybe it's one of those times where I'm a Christian, so I shouldn't be holding her in my heart. I'll go back to her and say, oh, I'm
Yeah.
just
I
coming
was
to say hello and all
ask.
that.
Yeah. I was
And
gonna
then I'll
ask
tell her
about
about my
that.
business. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm doing this business. Hey,
Hmm.
the things that she will say to me, I'll go back home and I will pack up that business.
She was a very toxic person.
She was a very toxic person. So now, to answer that person's question, first, you need to look within. Everything that you're looking for is inside of you. But because of the things that you've heard and the things that have been done to you, you don't even believe in yourself enough. So you need to rediscover yourself, who you truly are. You see,
Hmm.
those good thoughts in your head about you, that's actually who you are. But those thoughts are fighting with the negative things that you've heard, the negative words that have been sown in your head, in your
Hmm.
mind
Hmm.
about who you are and what you can achieve.
Hmm.
Okay. So it's a tug of war. I'll give you an example. It depends on who wins. And who wins usually, it is up to you. Before I was pregnant, I had fibroids, right? And then when I had my baby, when I was pregnant with my baby, the doctors were telling me that the fibroids were shrinking, right? Can you still hear me, Auntie B?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm just
So what
sharing
was
your
happening
book.
was that
Somebody
there
was
was a
asking me the
fight.
name of the book. That's the book.
Okay,
It's called Happily Abused. It's on Amazon. Amazon. That's the book. We're going to talk about the book in a minute. So,
yeah,
Essay, if you can summarize quickly so we can talk about this book. Very, very
okay, yeah. So
important. Mm.
yeah, so there was a fight. There was a tug of war between my baby and the fibroids. And so
Mm-hmm.
what was happening was that they weren't seeing the fibroids anymore because my baby was shrinking. She was sitting on them. She was pressing them. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? Until they couldn't see them anymore. That's how those thoughts in your head are. You have to pick the one that will be dominant. Yeah, and focus on it. Self affirmation also helps. Okay, affirm yourself, look in the mirror. I used to do that a lot. What is it about me? Forget what they said about my character and all of that. When I look at myself in the mirror, what are the things they've told me? I'm not beautiful? Okay, but what is it on my face that I like? I love my nose, so I focus on my nose. You are not beautiful, yes, but I have a
You say, I
cute nose.
love my
So
nose.
things like that, yes, things like that helped me.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that helped me build up my confidence first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. And then I focus on the things that people say about me that are good. So if this person says I'm confident, how does a confident person behave? I start to learn those things. I start to practice those things. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of practicing, but you have to keep doing it. And for every time there's a trigger, every time that there's something that reminds you of those traumas, you need to choose how to handle them by choosing the person that you want to be. So
Yeah,
what
the
I say to
opposite.
people is
So you
see
counter
the
it. Mm.
yes, create a picture of the person that you want to be and
Mm.
let that picture be dominant
Yeah,
always in your head.
yeah.
So when these other negative things come,
You
it's
counter
able
it.
to that bigger picture pushes it aside.
Yeah. And also, if you can afford it, definitely therapy. We encourage therapy a lot here. So the thank you so much, Essay. You've spoken very well. And I really thank God for your life. The story of Nia's story, unfortunately, because of time, we've done 1 hour. I can't believe how time goes quickly. We've done 1 hour. I wanted to talk about Nia's story because it's also very, very important. And Nia's story basically talks about two sisters who were left alone at home a lot because you know their parents were traveling a lot. And what happened to them? The house help and all the people around them decided to turn on them. And you talked about how in the book how the maid, my people, in Combe, things are happening in life. The maid, the house girl, was the one that introduced these girls to all sorts of things, including bringing her boyfriend to the house. When the parents, I mean, Esse's story is just loaded with lessons for parents about how raising your children and the danger of allowing people to have access to your young children, people raising your children, why, for whatever reason, and how it can expose them to all sorts of abuse and neglect. So in Nia's story, if you buy the book or if you read it, you read more about it. These two young girls, the house girl was bringing men when the man travel and the wife travel. He will be bring she will be bringing men to the house to be sleeping with men in the same house in the same room. So the two girls will not sleep on the top bed bunk. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mhm.
And the housemaid will be doing kerewa with her boyfriend in the lower bunk. And on the days that the boyfriend did not arrive, she would bring the girls to come and be doing kerewa with her. She got them introduced into kerewa, same self kerewa, when the parents were not there. And this house girl was not even sacked until the gate man found out that the house girl has been lying, because the house girl was telling the gate man that it's the uncle that is coming, not knowing that it's her boyfriend. Whenever the man and his wife travel, house girl will bring man come house. It was when the gate man found out that it's her boyfriend. That's when gate man now open mouth to talk. Ninja, things are happening, and you talked about how Nia hated men. You say she really hated men when she grew up, and
Yeah.
obviously she had a lot of trauma as well growing up. and she hated men. Wow.
Yeah.
Did she
Hers
ever
was
get
actually
any?
worse.
Yeah,
What?
I
I
was
said
just
hers was
gonna.
actually worse than mine because I didn't like men either, but it wasn't to the point where, um, it wasn't as bad as hers because for her, because it was a black man that abused her, yeah, that used forced KO on her, right?
Mhm.
Um, she just couldn't see herself with black men, so she was more attracted to white men, yeah, and all that. So there are relationships that she it's not that she didn't date black men, but she just wasn't into them. It was like she was forcing herself just to be normal.
Mhm. Did
Okay,
she
and then
ever? And you said now she now started experimenting with women as well because she's been
yeah,
introduced to women at a very young age.
yeah,
So she became bisexual basically
yeah, yeah,
as a result of her experience as a child.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Was at the last time that I spoke with her, yeah, she's seriously trying to work on it. She's in a relationship, funnily with a black man. She's trying to see where that will go.
Hmm.
But I remember that during this lockdown, there were lots of things about first carer on the internet coming out on social media and all of that. And there
Yeah.
was a particular one about a young girl that was killed after the whole first carer thing. That
Deleted.
was
Yeah.
really, yes,
Deleted is
okay, that
what
was
we use.
deleted, yeah.
Hmm.
After the whole thing and all that, and it really, really got to us. For me, it was a huge trigger for me. I was down for days. I wasn't able to sleep, and all that. So I reached out to her and she was like, wow, she hasn't been able to sleep because she could remember what, she also went through, her own issues, her own experiences and all of that. So somehow we just kept talking to each other and then talking each other through it. We need to fight, we need to do this. There was a time we even said, okay, because um we were like, okay, should we expose this person? We need to find out if he's still doing these things. Do you understand? Let's
Yeah.
try and expose him and everything. But
Yeah.
because, so we actually spoke to some people who told us, what, because of who he is, he's in the entertainment industry. I know how these people know how to spin
That's
stuff.
Uncle Dave.
And yes,
So
yes,
it's still today, you people never exposed him. You didn't.
no,
Wow.
I just left. It got to a point where when I just got fed up, and then some lies now even started getting into it because he now started getting frustrated with my refusal, with my denial and all of that. So he now started cooking up stories, which is his signature. He cooks up stories about the people that work for him and stuff like that. So,
And I'm
and a
sure
lot
he's
of
still
these
doing it
things
to
I
other
didn't know.
people. He's still doing it to other children
I
because this
know
is
that he
what they
was.
are. Mm-hmm.
I know he was doing it to other people even when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
Because then people couldn't talk. But because I knew, because I had the experience, I could see it in the other people, but nobody was willing to talk about it. So we all left it,
And
and then
that's
we
why
all
it's so
left.
important for you that you are doing so. We're going to talk about the book now. This is the book that was written by Esse regarding her experience. It's called Happily Abused, and it's by Esse Panya. And what Esse has decided to do, tell us briefly what you have decided to do with this book.
Okay, so I've always been interested in giving back, in doing charity. So 10 years ago, I started because I think because of what happened to me, I decided to mentor children in public schools.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then it was just mentoring and then supporting their school, speech and prize giving day, their work, basically in school and all of that. Then when I wrote this book, I didn't want it to just be a book that was written. I wanted to, you know, reach out to people through it. So I just thought, okay, you know what? Maybe I should go back to the secondary school because I know that there are people who are still experiencing abuse and people who are still dealing with the effects of abuse. There are some people who have never gotten over the traumas and all of that. A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
have taken to drinking, into drugs, so many harmful habits and
So it's
stuff like that. So I
creating
said,
awareness. It's creating
yeah, so it's
awareness,
creating awareness
education
that
for children.
yeah, and especially to let them know that they can get help and they can get healing. Do you understand? Because one of the first things that destroys you is that you feel you're not worthy of anything. You can never make it. Do you understand? These things will keep haunting you, but it's a lie. you can get healing and you can be whoever you want to be if you desire it enough to work on it. You have to work on it. So first, why am I going to secondary schools? Because I believe in catching them young. Let's reorientate young minds. Okay,
Yeah.
because these ones are still very fragile. And
Okay.
so we can still help a lot of them before they become self-destructive.
Okay, so
Okay,
hold on
so
there. Just hold that thought there. So let me give it a little bit of context. So Esse has decided to go to Nigeria, and what she wants to do is to go to secondary school, public secondary schools, to create awareness about the Baba Ijeshas and the Uncle Daves. And there are many of them in Nigeria, many of them, of which children cannot talk about. We don't have a lot of resources in Nigeria to encourage children to speak. Unlike here, where children will go to school and they will make disclosures to their teachers. The teacher will notice that something is wrong. The child is withdrawn. They will take their time to get to know what's happening. So what she wants to do is to take this book to Nigeria and gift it to the libraries in public schools in Nigeria. So she'll go to Lagos, for instance, and go to a number of secondary school and give them these books. And these young children can have access to it. And I tell you, the book is very, very easy to read. So they will know what they are going through. They can identify it. And they will know that they can sorosoke, they can get help, they can speak out. Even if they cannot tell their mothers or daddies at home, they can come and tell the teachers. They can reach out to somebody, or they can even reach out to Esse herself. So this is what she's doing. So my people, I've never asked for anything this year, this January, but I'm going to ask that people contribute to buying this book. This is what we want to do. Esse wants people to buy. How much is the book, Esse? So I'm asking you please to donate to buy this book, as many as you can. The book cost how much is it in naira?
okay, so in naira it's 5,000 naira,
It's
but for the
5,000
schools
naira.
we're subsidizing.
Okay. In schools is how much is it
It's
3,500?
3,000, yeah, for the schools.
Okay, so it's only 3,000. That's less than £1. Okay. On Amazon here in the UK, the book is 11 pounds. So I'm going to
70.
ask £11 70 it is on Amazon here. But we cannot buy it here because it's a lot of logistics buying it here and shipping it there. But the book is already in Nigeria. So if God lays it in your heart tonight, please, I want you to buy books for Nigerian children. This book is going to be in secondary school. It's going to be helping one child right there somewhere. Please, what you can do is to buy this book. How you can buy it, you can see my Cash App and my PayPal. If you can buy three, you can buy five, you can buy 10. 3,500 is less than $1. Please, I need you guys to contribute, to donate, so that when Esse goes to school, it's not just going there to talk to them. It's taking these books along with her because of the generosity of the people who are listening tonight. Don't buy the book on Amazon, please, because the book is in Nigeria. It's cheaper to buy it in Nigeria. So please don't buy. If you want to buy it, you can buy it for yourself. But if you want to buy it for these children in public schools in Nigeria, donate. Please donate towards buying it. Okay. So your donation should be sent to either my Cash App or to my PayPal. So 3,500. So for instance, because I like when I say something, I want to I want to put my money where my mouth is, or how do they say it? Yeah, 3,000. It's 3,000. You said that's for one book, so 3,000 for 20 books is 60,000. So I'm going to give you 60,000 uh to buy
Wow.
20 for one of these public schools.
Wow.
Okay, I'm giving you 60,000 naira to buy that.
Thank you so
So
much, Auntie BJ. Thank you.
you're welcome.
God
That's the
bless
least
you.
I
God
can do.
replenish your pocket.
Yeah.
So can I, before you continue, can I just add to it? We're not just equipping the schools. We're building workshops around it. So it's not like when these children reach out to us, we need to give them help. You understand? So it's not a one-off. It has never been a one-off for me. Okay, so we'll keep working with the children till they get the help that they need.
Okay. So we want to buy these books as many as we can for the school library. Okay. Somebody is asking, if you want to buy 10, If you want to buy 10 in Nigeria, that would be 30,000. So send 30,000 to my Nigerian bank account. It's right there. You can donate in Naira. And I will now transfer the funds to Esse. Please, anybody that wants to buy, if you want to buy it, we are buying the book for schools, public schools, not private. Oh, and you know the people that go to public schools in Nigeria, they are the ones that come from such family that Esse came from. Why she
Yeah.
had to go and live with these very nasty people. I mean, until you read the book, we don't have the time to go through it. It's deeper than this. Okay, it's deeper than this. If you want to buy it and read, it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon. It's That's the book. It's
Yeah.
called Happily Abused: A True Story of a Serial Victim by Esse Panya. You see it there. So if you are doing £50, $50, 100, whatever you want to do to equip these schools around the workshop that Esse wants to go to Nigeria to do in public schools, let me tell you, these children in public schools, they have nothing. They have nothing. Please donate. I'm begging you guys. You know, I don't come to you until this is very, very much needed. We are donating for children who don't even have two pairs of uniform. Children who go to
Yeah.
school barefoot. Abby, they go
Yes.
to school barefoot. So, guys, reach out into your wallet and contribute. If you can contribute in Naira, it's fine. If you want to contribute in pounds or dollars, that's all right. All my details are here. Whatever contribution we get, we're going to send it to Esse to buy these books. And then when she goes to Nigeria, she's going to go around the schools to make sure she gives this book to them and then she'll do the workshop. Okay? There are so many Uncle Daves. There are so many Baba Ijesha. There are too many. There are too many. And these children is when they become adult. Thank you so much, Anna. You are buying 10. God bless you.
Well,
God
thank you,
bless you.
Anna. God bless
Yes,
you.
somebody has already bought I think Tiki Shark said she's gonna send $50. Yeah, thank you so much. Somebody said I'm buying 10. Olayinka donated 30,000. Thank you so much, Olayinka. God
Thank you
bless you.
so much. Thank you, everyone.
Please
God bless
contribute your
you.
money using this, and Essay will take them. We need those books because children sometimes when they are going through things like this, their only escape is books. You were
Yes,
reading.
I was reading a
Uncle
lot.
Dave was there until today. You cannot even tell people until you wrote this book. You cannot even tell your family members about Uncle
No,
Dave.
no. And if they read it, they know who Uncle Dave is, obviously, but they, no, I've never been able to tell anyone. In fact, it
Yeah,
took a lot for me to tell my husband, to actually, I didn't even tell him all in one day, because it's a very sensitive topic.
yeah,
It's a lot. Yes,
yeah.
I
Thank
also
you.
wanted to add that, what I've always done is do feedback. So when I come back, definitely I would give a feedback as to how far we've gone
Thank
with
you.
the school. Because it's a couple, I'm doing actually two states on this
Yeah,
trip. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So when I come back, I'll come and give feedback.
yeah. Thank you. Dakwa, thank you. You are donating 5 books. God bless you. The account number in Nigeria is on the screen. Look at it. It's right there on the screen. If you look at it, you will see it. So we've got people on the I'll share the link. Amma, you're welcome. So we're going to take a few calls and then please
Okay.
keep donating for these children in Nigeria. I am appealing to you. This is for a worthy cause. Please, Rita, thank you for buying 5. Dakpo is buying 15. God bless you. Amma, unmute yourself, please. What do you have to say? You're welcome.
Hi, Aunty B.
Hello, how are you, sweetie?
Happy Sunday and happy Sunday to Sister Esse.
Good
Well,
afternoon.
God
Good
bless you.
evening.
Number one. Good evening. Sorry, I'm in the US. God bless you for
Okay.
sharing your story. It's never easy. It is never easy for anyone to come out and share their stories, most especially when it's something that can actually damage your image or make people
Mm-hmm.
see you in the negative form. First and foremost, I would say we Africans, I'm not going to say Nigerians, we Africans, we should stop looking down on children who are abused. It makes them not talk. Some of them will keep to it, and when they grow, they begin to act different ways. Some
Mm-hmm.
of them can't handle it, and that's how some of them enter into prostitution.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them will go into marriage and begin to act like they are witches in their own marriage because of what someone has done to them. Once we start to listen to our children, things will change. Don't. I know some parents back home in Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
they make the children not even talk. Children
Mm-hmm.
cannot even express themselves because number one, you talk, they go beat you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They begin to blame you first for something
Yes.
that you
Happened to
don't,
you.
you,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Go say, wait till you go find there. Not be you not wear skirt wear. Not be you
Mm-hmm.
carry your nyash open like this. We
Mm-hmm.
should, once we start to educate our parents,
Mm-hmm.
things will begin to change. And we thank God for the generation that we are now. A lot of us don't take this lightly. And some kids are dying into it. They are still Uncle Dave. As I speak to you, they are still Uncle
Plenty.
Dave doing the same
Everywhere.
thing right now to children
Yes.
back home. You
Mm-hmm.
dare not try and do such in America. The child might be afraid for a while, but that child will come out. But because our school system also is damaged. How is the school system damaged? Teacher carry can beat children, put mark for him body.
Mm-hmm.
How the
Mm-hmm.
pikin won't even tell children and tell teacher, because in America, when such thing is happening to you, the kids, if they know they can't talk, some of them will run to their teachers. There is no counselors in the school. There is
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Kids can't even speak.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine what she went through. I cried when she said she had to go meet her mother and tell her mother, I will not be able to contact you for a while. I
Mm-hmm.
wept. Because why? The auntie owned the house where the mother lives. So
Yes.
just for this child to manage, making mama Mary not beating mama for outside.
Mm-hmm.
May we don't
Mm-hmm.
even know what to do. She
Mm-hmm.
had to sacrifice to that extent.
Mm-hmm.
May God help our children. Uncle
Amen.
Dave, no, Mona no verse. Uncle Dave need to come out. So we need to open in Yash. And then I
We'll go
just love her
open
now.
them.
We'll go
We'll
open
go
in
open
Yash and I
them.
yeah.
We'll go open them.
Anywhere. Uncle Dave nothing continue like this. Because
No
let me tell you the
worry.
truth.
We'll go open
Uncle
them
Dave will
because it
keep
will
doing this to
continue.
people. He
Yes,
never
it will
stop.
continue. Mm-hmm.
Auntie
We'll
B,
go.
Uncle Dave never stop. Oh, if he just did one yesterday, then when he go come out, because they know say they get friend. Where be say them they get for yeah when they get for
Thank
one
you.
you welcome for one big seat or the other.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Mm-hmm.
one policeman will be
Yeah.
commissioner.
Uncle
He go
Dave,
come
they
call you.
kiss 10-year-old, 10-year-old
Can you
pikin.
imagine
They
that? He go
carry your
come out and say,
smelly,
do
dirty
you know
mouth.
who
They
I
put
am? Who be
for
you? Who be
10-year-old
you,
mouth.
Uncle Dave? You won't come tell me say you be I am that I am. For where you be I am that I am. We need to speak out for these
Yeah.
children.
We
A
need to
lot
give
of
them
us
a
that are
voice.
watching this program
Mm-hmm.
now, a lot of us
Mm-hmm.
have been through these things.
Yes.
A lot of people have gone through these things, but they don't feel talk come out. They go, they eat
Thank
time for
you.
inside their self, they eat inside their self, they think won't kill them.
Thank you,
So
Amma.
please let's help other people.
Yeah.
This is not just woman empowerment. Let's empower these children
Boys
to
too.
have the
Did you say boys too
even boys.
safe? Boys
And
safe
no,
for Nigeria?
Auntie B, nobody,
Yeah.
oh, both boys
Mm.
and girls, they
Boys not
together.
safe now. What are we talking about? Boys safe. I see one
Imagine
interview when
that.
Chud do one interview. The boy talk say 10-year-old. Now they don't start to the carry one. They
Can't
don't they
imagine.
men they carry one.
Then tomorrow
10-year-old
that
boy.
pikin go come grow, come go begin they carry waiting that they call them Golococos, they fire people anyhow everywhere. They do carry what to children. They will come say
So,
waiting. It's not
thank you, Amma.
an excuse, but let's speak out.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sister. God bless your heart. And I'm going to buy your book.
Thank
And
you.
because of that, myself and my children, we're going to buy 50 of that book.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You're
Amen.
so
Thank
welcome.
you.
I
Thank you,
love you,
God
Amma.
girls.
bless
God
you.
bless you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. We need to buy the book. The only way you can help tonight, if you've been triggered by Esse's story, you know how you can help? Is to make sure it's not happening to another child tomorrow
Yes.
in Nigeria. And that's to buy this book. This book will help them. The way it is written, the language is so simple, they will understand it. And then they will know it's not okay. It will also give them the empowerment, the courage to speak out. So please, that book, the details are on the screen. Keep buying, please. I beg you. Just keep donating money so that we can buy that book. Thank you so much, Amma. Amma has volunteered to buy 50.
50.
Uh, 50.
God
Is it
bless
50?
you.
She said 50, right?
Yes, she said
Yeah.
Yes.
50.
Okay, Faith, you're welcome, sweetie. How
Yes.
are you?
I'm good, Auntie B. Hello, hello. Hello,
You
Sister
sound
Esse.
you
Good
sound so
evening.
tired.
Hi,
Are you
I
Faith.
okay?
am, but
Hello.
I definitely had to come up here because this show, I was just watching it and it caused me so much anxiety. I couldn't even listen to it. You're such a
Oh,
strong woman, such a powerful woman, such a courageous woman. I really admire you,
Thank you.
yeah,
especially because you said you didn't
Mm.
even go to therapy. You didn't have therapy.
yeah,
The mechanisms or the mechanics that you use to overcome this your trauma, it seems like you went to therapy because I have been to therapy and they said that you should write down your trauma if you don't, or like if you don't send the letters you wrote, if you don't send it, it's just for you to work on it. If you are like artistically inclined, for people who are artistically inclined, you can also draw, just sit down and draw and bring out all your emotions.
yeah.
Anyways, I want to say that this your story touched me so much, and that's why I decided to call in. I would definitely buy your books. I adore you
Thank
so
you
much,
so
and I
much.
wish I had a mentor like you. Like I really admire you. Your strength is so wonderful. You're a
Thank you,
beautiful
Faith.
Thank you
person. I
so
wish
much.
you all the best.
See how
Thank
pretty she
you.
is, and somebody told her as a child that she's ugly. Can you imagine? How else can somebody be fine in this world that this woman is not fine? Look at her say. You see all these wicked aunties. Eh?
No,
She's so beautiful, not
I
because
didn't
they
believe
want
I
to
was
bring down
fine
her
for a
spirit.
long time.
Look
They
at
want to
how
kill
So
you.
beautiful she is.
I
Like,
just became a tomboy. Like I use that to cover up. You see me, I'm bouncing. Every time I'm
yes,
always bouncing, like
yes.
you know,
But
and all
that's
that.
also a
But
defense mechanism, to hide your body, to hide
Mm,
yourself, so men should not come near to you. That's also something also that happens.
yeah,
Such a
yeah.
beautiful lady. Really,
yeah.
I
She
can't
is
imagine that
beautiful.
somebody told you you're not
Mm.
pretty. Really, that's
Mm.
the first thing when she came up and said, "What a beautiful lady." I
It's
think
them that
a
are
lot of
not
people in
pretty.
the
It's
comments
them
also
that
said
are ugly. They
pretty.
are
Yes,
not only ugly
yes,
physically, they
exactly.
are ugly in their hearts.
Yes,
That
yes,
ugliness in the heart
exactly.
is the worst one.
Yes,
And that
that's
your
what is
auntie,
showing through.
boy. Mm.
Yes. One question I wanted to ask: did you ever find out why why she hated you so much? Was it jealousy? Because I can't imagine somebody who's your family member, who you have not done anything to. Like, had you done anything to her? Did it ever come out? Why the hatred?
No. Okay, so I'm going to say I kept asking that question for a very long time, right? What could I have done? I mean, what could I have done that can be so bad,
Mhm.
Yes.
for her to treat me this way, you know? But I never found the answer to that question. But one day, well, I've actually had like two of her friends who came and told me, the first one told me, you know what, Esse, you need to leave your auntie's house because she doesn't have good plans for you. I don't know what
Mm.
you did to that woman, but she doesn't have good plans for you, but she didn't
Hmm.
go into details. Then another time, I think actually put this account in the
Mm.
book where she was dating someone, and then I wasn't living with her at that time, but they came to Worry for the holidays, and she got into an argument with her daughter, her own daughter, and she was just it was terrible. I didn't even know what was happening. I just heard shouting in the room and all that. And then the man was trying to talk to her and he couldn't get through to her. So he stormed out of the room. And on his way out, he saw me and then he said to me, my
Yeah,
dear, there is nothing wrong with you.
yeah.
Your
I
auntie is
saw
the
it.
one with
Wow.
the problem.
Yeah. You
So
wrote it
I'd
in the
never
Wow.
book.
met this man, but she had said
Mm.
a lot of terrible things about me to this person that I'd never even met. So if he
Mm.
hadn't said that to me, I wouldn't have even known that.
Yeah.
But that gave me some sort of relief because that
Yes.
Mm.
day I cried my eyes out. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
a total stranger
So
saying this
sorry.
to me.
Yeah.
So that
Yes.
means I need to actually look at the whole situation again because it was also at that period I went
And
to meet my mom's pastor to say, is it possible you're a witch and you don't know? Because I'm beginning to feel like maybe I don't know that I've been initiated some way,
Yeah. You
you
wrote
know.
it in the book.
But
Yeah, you wrote
yeah,
it. You said they had a long, heated argument and the man stormed out of the room. As he was walking out, he looked at me and said, my dear, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. It is your auntie who has a problem, and I'm glad I have seen it for myself. Take care of yourself. This is another random relationship that she was in. I don't know. I don't want to make any assumption. Was it like she couldn't succeed in relationship? Is that why she was so bitter? Because she had money, obviously. She had a
yeah.
child.
because she must have seen
She was
something in
successful
you
in,
that she couldn't have, that made
yeah.
her envious or jealous or
But
whatever.
she
She
was
must
a
have seen something
child.
that she
But
couldn't
I was
have.
a
Yes.
child. What could she have seen in me? There was no
She was
competition.
a
What
That's
child.
the
could she have seen in
question.
me that would make her? And about relationships, even as a little child, remembering, I would say that she had good relationships because she had at least the ones that we were aware. The men showed love. they to them, no, to her. So I don't think that it was. She had good relationships from how, even when we talk about it sometimes we're like, but this guy was actually a good person when we, so what happened? Why did it end?
She's too bitter.
So
She's
she
just
didn't
too
have
bitter.
like a man beating her up or cheating on her or anything that we could see. We couldn't see it anyway, but there was a general perception that, okay, this is a good guy from those of us
Have you
looking
forgiven
in.
her, Esse?
Oh yes, I have.
Okay,
I
that's
have forgiven her.
her.
I forgave her a very long time ago. Like I said, I did self-deliverance, and you can't be seeking God for something and you're holding somebody in your heart. And because I'm a Christian, every time I was even doing fasting and prayer, I would call her to try and make peace. And then she would drop another bombshell. And for every time she did that, I would call her daughter and say, you see what's happening? I'm trying to make peace with your mom, but see what she said again. And the daughter, I will give it to her. Although the mom had, succeeded in, causing,
separating you.
separating us. Every time I called her and reported her mom, she would call her and question her, why are you behaving like this? Because one time that she called her mom and then mom now called me back and was shouting, you called my daughter and you did this. I just told her, I said, you know what, you're not my God. And anything you're saying to me right now, back to you. You're not
Are you
God.
still in
This created
contact with
me.
her? Are you still in contact with her, Esse?
No, I don't speak to her anymore.
Okay,
I completely cut off
better.
after I had my child because I still tried to make peace with her when I got married. And I thought, okay, this is a new phase of my life. Let's just leave the past in the past. But I had my baby. She was in England. She never came to see me. And she has never come to see me or my child. So I thought there was no point.
Yeah.
Because I called her. What I went through in the hospital was also a lot. And I needed family. And my family wasn't there. And she was here in England. My husband was also confused. Is this person not your family member? And I'm like, me myself, I don't know. I was going into depression, so I called her to ask her that. I don't know what I've done to you.
Why do you want her to come so that she'll come
How
and
bad
harm your child?
can it
Was
be
she good
that
to you? Why would you want someone like that around your baby?
I just felt at the end of the day, we're family.
No.
Leave it, you forgiving her, and stuff like that. And so I asked her, I said,
That they have to
even
be in
if
your
I have
life, Esse.
offended you,
No. What is family?
That's somebody you have to leave behind. There's also one thing
Family
I've
is
just
okay.
thought
It's
about.
okay to be family,
Did
but
you
at
talk
a
to your
point,
mom?
you
Maybe
choose who
she
your
had
family is.
issues. Maybe she had issues with your mom. Is there something that she maybe wanted to punish your mom through you? Because I've just been sitting here thinking about it. Because honestly, you were a child, so they cannot have anything you've done to her. So have you talked to your mom about what happened to you? A little bit at least.
The mom knows.
my mom knows.
Remember, she said she went back
My
home.
mom knows. And like I said, yeah, so my mom to some extent was also helpless in the situation. Yeah, I don't know if anything happened when she was young between my mom and her. I don't think so, because if it did, she wouldn't be taking care of the woman, Abby. She would have cut off from her or
Yeah,
something.
you're right. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Faith. Thanks for contributing.
Okay.
I gotta move on. Amaya, can you unmute yourself, or do you want to wait a bit longer? I've got BBMJ. Ola, sorry, your connection is not good, Ola, so I cannot add you.
So let me just quickly say something. I don't want the thought to run away from me. So thank you very much, Sister B. I'm multitasking, so I couldn't engage in the comment section, but I heard Esse's story from the beginning. Esse, I want to speak directly to you. I see you and I see God through your eyes. Has anyone ever told you that? I can see God through your eyes. You are such an amazing human being. What you've come from, where the experiences that you have come through shows that there is more to you. The devil does not need a reason to hate you. He does not. The devil will hate you simply because you exist and you're a child of God, and there's a reason, there's a purpose for your existence. So it doesn't matter whether your mother did something or whether anybody did anything. Your aunt saw something bigger than herself and her child, for whatever reason, I'm sure her child is great, but there was yours was a lot great. You have such great light. Okay, understand that this is the reason why she was against you from the beginning, from the get. So it has nothing to do with what you did or did not do. People need to understand that this is why children are very precious. You don't know who your enemy is. You will never know. It doesn't have a face. It will come in the form of your closest family. Understand that. So that parents can stop giving away their children early and destroy their lives. Okay, Esse, I want you to take that away. There's a reason. There's something bigger than yourself. And it's already showing. It's already flowing through you. But your aunt saw it way before. She most likely is the one, like that man said to you and from your story, that has the problem, not you. Why do you think she singled you out and took you away from your mom? Hello?
Yeah.
For the spiritually inclined in the house, why do you think that? You have what? 7 siblings? Why you? Why? Answer that question on your own. Why did it have to be you? She looked and saw this one is the one that will, hey, this one light is blinding. So she wanted to break you when you were still at that infant stage. Break everything about you. That is the reason why. If you've never had the answers, I'm telling you that now. I had an uncle who had a wife that was Jamaican. That woman, when I would go spend holidays with her, I was in college, by the way. I was in 100, level 200. She would be washing a rag in the kitchen, and she would be saying words to me that this is how men will use my enemy and throw it away. So I know what words mean. But I'm standing tall today because that ended up not being my story, because
Amen.
I had a resilience in my spirit that she could not understand.
Amen.
Her own son had to stand up to her on my behalf. So I hear you and I understand you. Okay, I've never been abused, I've never gone through your experience, but I've had words thrown at me. This is an evidence that there's something more to you that is bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of you. I am super proud of you that you put it in words. You see, when I say on this platform, you can do therapy on your own. Write everything. You don't need to mail it. You don't need to send it to the person. Write it out. That is your power right there.
Amen.
I've already contributed, Sister B, towards
Oh, I trust you. Oh my yeah. Hell, I'm gonna ban you from contributing on this platform going forward. I'm gonna ban you because you are always the one that every time we do a fundraising here, you always. So
God bless you.
thank you so much. Thank you,
Don't
Omoye.
ban me, Sister B. Are you not ban me from my own calling, no, Biko, no. I know what they do for you, Biko. So my sister, you
All
see,
right.
you
It's
have
just
a
that
YouTube
you do
channel.
they contribute, so the thing gonna make me they feel one kind. I love when I fight for comment section. When I was a big judge, when I can't contribute, they say when I can't do something good today. This is a good cause. Come and buy books for children in public schools in Nigeria. Only 300 naira, less than $1. That is the cost of the book. Come and buy. Okay.
Esse,
Thank
you
you,
have a
Omoye. God
YouTube
bless you.
channel, right? You say you have a
Thank you.
YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Yes,
He
I
has a YouTube
do.
channel.
Okay, what's your YouTube channel? I need to follow you.
What's it
Oh,
called?
thank you so much. Esse Panya'S TV.
Okay,
Esse
I will
Panya'S
find you.
TV.
I will find you and follow you. And
Thank
Sister
you.
B, please bear with me. I need to thank your subscribers. They have been lighting up My subscription is like going up. Hey, I
Really?
see the numbers and my heart shake. I say, my
You're a
goodness.
celebrity.
Oh my goodness. People keep it coming. Oh, I see how 600 more to go. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Only. We'll get there. We'll
I'm
get there.
telling you, so Sister B, thank you so much for what
Thank you
you
so much, Omoye. I'm also on Instagram at Esse. All my
do.
handles are Esse, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
Okay.
Estefania.
Okay, I will find you and I'll follow you for sure.
Thank
And
you.
you're going to see my name. So,
I'll
Sister B,
follow
I'll
you
call
back.
again at the end. Eh?
All
Maybe
right.
we
Thank
close
Okay.
our
you.
mouth. All right,
All
love.
right. Thank you, my darling.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Bless
Yeah,
you too.
you're amazing. I love you very much. Thank you, Omoye. You're such a wonderful human being. Bio, you are here to encourage our sister.
Yes, so Auntie B, happy
You're welcome.
Sunday to the
Happy Sunday.
Obodooyinbo family.
Thank you.
Our beautiful sister. I don't know, you my mind attention you be my in-law, but whatever it is, because people from my place they look like your husband. My regards to the man that God sent to you, and like I said in the comment section, it says, with a pure heart, the Lord will grant their heart desires. All
Amen.
right. So I'm not going to speak much on the story because it's well taught, but I'm just going to speak on your cause. Okay. I'm happy that you did not only just come in to share your story, but you have used your storyline to develop a passion for a cause in order to help the people in the less privileged in our society back in Nigeria. Okay, I haven't said that. I was thinking just now, I said, oh God, I don't know if I'm going to draw a cartoon of Uncle Dave, okay, with a big head and small eyes. I'm serious now. That cartoon will be the book that kids are going to see. So I don't know if that was the book Auntie B was flipping on the screen because
Yeah,
there was a
that's the
time he
book.
raised the book. Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
that's the
see.
book.
Yeah, so I don't know how many pages the volume or whatever it is.
It's not very
So
voluminous.
yeah, okay.
It's about 100 pages.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
Yeah, sounds good. So, outside of the book, you can also as well make a little draft copy for kids, because our Nigerian kids, when they cite big book like this,
No, it's not big. Leo, it's
yeah.
not big. It's not big.
Okay.
They will read
Okay,
it.
sounds good.
They'll
So,
read
yeah.
it. They can read this one.
All
See,
right. Sounds
it's
good
very
then.
small. They will read it.
Good.
And
Good, good.
it's written in a child's language, so they will understand it.
Very, very lovely. Very lovely. So it's two ways, because that two issues here, I think
I can't hear Uncle.
I can't hear
Uncle.
Bio again. Bio, your connection is funny now. It's funny. We
It's
can't hear you
breaking.
again. Yeah, okay. It's better now. What were you saying?
okay. Yeah, I said there are two issues here: the Uncle Dave issues and the horrible auntie. Okay, the auntie with the horn of a devil. Okay, so two issues there. So I know you talked much about Uncle Dave, but we also need to look at that. Obodoyibo, I want you to please join hands and look how we can develop a means to reach out to our mothers back home, our less privileged and struggling mothers, how we can reach out and sensitize them more about the dangers of exposing their kids. These are sincere things. They don't know. Most of these women, not really that they want to give out their kids. Like in her case, her mom wasn't even ready. It was the auntie. No, the auntie even asked for it. The auntie even asked for it. Some aunties, they do it. They just come. It's called target. They just come and say, "Let me just help you." When you don't even ask for that help, you know what I mean?
Because you
At
can
least
actually pay the children's school fees and the child will still
of
stay
course
in the
now.
mother's house.
Nigerian women. So Nigerian women will carry 4 or 5 women to children to market after they said they go to school or do whatever. You know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. It's better than one auntie come from nowhere to destroy the family. So let me stop it there and you all do have a lovely Sunday. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
Thank you very
Bill.
much, sir. God bless you.
Thank you, Bill. Uju, you're welcome. Sorry, Uju, I have BBMJ waiting. BB, what do you have to say? Good evening. Hello,
Good
Hello.
BB.
evening, Auntie B, and well done on all the beautiful work. Esse, you're such a glamorous lady. It's lovely to see you. I
Thank
want to say
you.
kudos. I did not hear the story from the beginning, but I don't need to hear the story to join and to be part of it. I have made my donations because I
Thank
think it's
you.
for a worthy
Thank you.
cause. I
Mm-hmm.
also wanted to suggest if it is possible, is it possible to make this into an audiobook? Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes not all kids can read, but some
Yeah.
kids can listen to it. Can we
Yeah.
make it into audio? Can we make it into
Okay.
vernacular language where the
Okay.
kids from the grassroots home can actually
Mm-hmm.
listen to it?
Mm-hmm.
And this really touches home personally because
Mm-hmm.
my younger sister was a victim. And it wasn't
Wow.
an aunt, it wasn't an uncle, it was a step brother. And
Mm-hmm.
it would
Wow.
shock you to know she was only 3 when it
Hmm.
happened.
Hmm.
Wow.
And when my mom got to know about it, it was a case of, okay, I'm going to the market, watch over your little sister, I'll be back soon. And this grown idiot, like I would
Hmm.
call him, did
Yeah.
this to my younger sister. And I can
Mm-hmm.
tell you she's a married beautiful lady now with kids, but it affected her and it affected the whole family.
Of
Now what's
course.
worse with this is my father's family did not frown at this, did
Mm-hmm.
not see anything wrong with this. It was my neighbor that had the means to throw my stepbrother in jail for
Hmm.
what he did.
Hmm.
So it hits home, and I get it, and I applaud you. Omoye's words were so inspirational. I
Hmm.
applaud you a million times for
Mm-hmm.
stepping out, for shaming the he goat of a man that he is, for
Mm-hmm.
exposing the lack of authenticity from a
Mm-hmm.
so-called aunt. It really shows the void we have and what we need to do as individuals. Everybody can step up. This platform your Auntie B has, I have said it before, it's like a beautiful warm hug to anyone that is aching. And what you are doing in reaching out, in expressing yourself through words, truly shows that you are not stuck in your position. You are rising, you are propelling, and you are making a cause for the next generation. Because whoever's going to listen to this and read this book would be like, if she can do it, I
I
can
can
do
do
it
it.
as well.
Absolutely.
So I truly, truly applaud you. I
Mm-hmm.
thank you. I
Mm-hmm.
hail you. I pray that everything you do going on forward would succeed. I
Amen.
Thank
truly
you.
hope that we can help it out so that it can be in a radio broadcast, it can be in a vernacular language, it could be
Mm-hmm.
made into an audiobook so that it's not just limited to kids in school, kids on
Mm-hmm.
the streets are
Yeah.
molested even as
Mm-hmm.
well. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much. And
Thank
thank you,
you.
Auntie B. Continue
Thank
to
you,
look,
BB.
glamorous in all that you do. Have a
Thank you.
lovely, lovely evening.
You too. Thank you so much, BB.
Thank
I
you so much,
appreciate you.
ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah. So thank you to everyone that's been donating. I can see some cash app donations, some naira donation. Thank you everyone that's donated. God bless you. Whatever you give is gonna go into buying those books. And it's very, very important knowing that you are sowing and your seed is going to deliver another person from Uncle Dave in Nigeria. These children are in public schools, they have no access. This is going to be a powerful book for them to read, to know that, okay, they are not alone. Because if you come from the kind of culture that will come from you, then you understand that speaking up is very difficult. Children are not even encouraged to express themselves. They're always shutting them up. Keep quiet, shut up, don't say this, don't say that. It's a very hostile environment for a lot of children, unfortunately. Juma, you're welcome. What do you have to say?
Auntie B, good afternoon. This story kind of shook me. I have a little similar experience, but mine is not very deep like hers. I want to say this to say I understand a little bit of why that auntie is acting like a demon. or someone that was sent down from I'm sorry, from the pit
From
of hell.
hell.
I have
Yeah.
one from the pit of hell. I have my mom's big auntie. There was one time when I finished my higher institution, then I from Ibadan, I traveled to Lagos. We're looking for job, want to do IT in a bank, all these their big companies their headquarters are in Lagos. So I'm like, let me live with this big auntie of my mom in Lagos. Oh my God, I was just like a slave there. Even the little boy that they have in the house, I'll be the one to wash their clothes and everything. And some days I'll be crying. They will want to buy things for their children. Whenever I'm there, they won't buy it, or they will just buy for their children. And me, I'll be looking like a stranger like that. So one time I called my mom. I said, what is going on? This is what I'm going through here. And I don't think if I can continue. And my mom told me that if I can't continue again, I should come back. That is the same thing she went through. So this auntie is a big sis to my mom. So when she was living with her, when she was little as well, like a little sister, that's what she made her go through. That she'll be the one to raise all her, and she have 8 children. She'll be the one to take care of all the children. That basically I'm doing the same thing that she's doing. That she doesn't even think it through. I shouldn't have gone. That maybe I should be coming back home. So maybe okay. So I was thinking that why is she now behaving like that to me? I mean, like, and then I was thinking that maybe they don't want you to become more great than their children, because at the end of the day, that was what I was able to attribute to it. It got to a point one time, before I come to America, I went to embassy. I told all the children, they are all doing great. I said, I want to prepare for my interview. Did you have anything to say to me so you can make my interview right? They were just laughing that even if they're giving dead people, am I the one that they would give? They didn't tell me anything. But to my surprise, I went and I was given. Their last born went and he was not given. I'm like, I said, God sees my heart, God sees all you are doing, and he just reward me. And it's not because you have done anything to that auntie, and she probably might not be a witch, but sometimes they can't just stand. Maybe you might become very great than their children. I mean, from my own perspective, that's what I
Anybody
think.
who's trying to stop somebody's greatness is a witch.
Is okay, well, maybe they are a witch, because today, Auntie P, I will tell you, all those children, they will call me and say, oh, I want to pay school fees of my children. I'm like, okay, this is how much. They never think I will even go to embassy, not to talk of being in abroad. But
Mm,
today I give glory to
thank
God,
God.
right?
God is
Yeah,
not mad.
so all those aunties, they're always like that. So to support you, I am also going to buy 20 books, because
Thank
I
you.
Oh,
want to
thank
see more of
you.
this. I mean,
Thank you.
all those I can't imagine what my life would be if I'm still in Nigeria. So all those
Yeah.
people, they don't have so much hope like we
Mm-hmm.
that we are over here. So the little we can do is to just support someone like you
Mm-hmm.
that have this vision
Vision.
of
Yeah.
making their life. So just to support you, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's the least I can do. And I
Thank you
pray the
so
Lord
much.
will empower you, send more help, more
Amen.
more people
Amen.
that will
Amen.
sponsor, more sponsor, that will make
Amen.
this great,
Amen.
that will make this vision
Yeah.
more go beyond your expectation. In the name
Mm.
of Jesus, the Lord will empower you.
Amen.
And thank you for
Amen.
being
Amen.
healed.
Amen.
Thank you for
Thank
Amen.
doing
you.
this. So many,
Thank you.
so many destiny
Amen.
is
Thank you.
attached to this. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you, Jimmy.
God
And
Bye,
thank
bless you.
Auntie.
Thank you so much.
really appreciate you. Fancy Face said, you don't need to be flying at night to be a witch. Of course, if you're trying to stop somebody's destiny, you're a witch. You're a witch. There's so many of them, so many out there. So, I mean, the Bible even says that you shouldn't suffer not a witch to live. Sister Rita, you're welcome. 3 minutes, please, so that we can round up. Good
Yeah,
evening.
Sister B, good evening. Well
Good evening.
done.
Yeah,
Mhm.
thank
Yeah, God will continue to strengthen you and give you more wisdom in
Amen.
Jesus' name.
you. Amen.
Amen.
Yes. Yeah, sis, I want to thank God for your life. I want to thank God for giving you that direction that you took to deliver yourself, because it's not always easy to go through that stage. A lot of us have gone through a lot. Me, I went through my own part of the story. But I want to thank God for today, because God is using you to help a lot of people.
Yeah.
And God is going to open more vision for you. I want to say one thing,
Amen.
that your auntie, she saw your tomorrow. Let me
Mm.
tell you, witches, they see tomorrow. So when they see tomorrow, they start fighting to destroy the tomorrow. But
Mm.
what is bigger than them is that when God said yes, no man can say no. When he
Amen.
opened a door, no man can shut it. Most time, what I have seen and what I have heard, children that pass through all this problem are always great in life. Children
Mm-hmm.
that were tortured and denied and thrown away from the house. I was thrown away by my own mom. I was thrown away from the house. To be very sincere, I slept in the market for 3 months. I was
Hmm.
sleeping inside the market. You can imagine that. My story is something else. But today, I am what God said I am. So I
Amen.
want to say that most time, children that people fight, children that parents fight, aunties fight, siblings fight, they come out great in life. So
Mm-hmm.
she have seen the light at the end of the tunnel in your life. She wanted to destroy it. Because
Mm-hmm.
she cannot destroy it to kill, to delete you physically, she has to destroy it by using words to kill your self-esteem. That's what she
Mm-hmm.
was trying to do. So you
Mm-hmm.
go out to nothing. Okay, look at what she can tell you to do. To go to the street and go into the nonsense that other people are doing. So in the
Mm-hmm.
process, you can contact something and you just delete. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So I want to thank God for today that God has used you to open a new chapter and He's going to give you more vision.
Amen.
More vision is going to come. That's going to use you to lift people just like what the other caller said. We need this thing to go even to the interior places so that they can know that this is what is happening. A lot is happening. Thank you
Yeah.
so much
Thank
for
you.
helping us. I've learned one thing by making deliverance yourself. In short, that one alone, I'm going to do it. I'm going to
Thank you.
fight God myself. You don't need to consult any pastor for it.
Mm-hmm.
God has
Mm-hmm.
given you the power so we can use it and do things for ourselves. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much. God
Thank
bless
you,
you.
Sister Rita. God bless you. Have a good evening. Yeah. Some people are asking me for the payment details. It's on the screen. Whatever you can donate towards buying this will be happy. Thank you all so much. Those who have donated so far, please keep it coming. Get as much funds as possible to get these books to schools for Esse to go and do the work over there. God has given her, out of the mess, God has given her a message. And the message is to help children, underprivileged children, children who come from backgrounds like she did, so that they don't go through the same thing that she did. It can save a life. Please help. Donate generously. God bless you. Hola, you're welcome.
Hello, Sister B.
You're welcome.
You're looking good. And my sister, Esse. Thank you. Thanks for bringing your story out today. A lot
Thank
of us
you.
have had similar stories. I can't even come out. I've not been able to come out to say my own, what I've gone through. But today I've learned a lot from you. When you said you had to go to your mom to do what you had to do, I went. Right now I'm at work. Even my colleague, when she was coming, I just wiped my eyes. I didn't want her to see me. But I
Mm-mm.
appreciate you. Thanks for coming on the program. Auntie B, thank you for all you do. We learn a lot every day. And you know me, like I always say, I'm still coming to tell my story.
Oh,
I'm
yes,
just trying
yes.
to get the
Mhm.
strength because
Yeah,
I don't want to cry throughout.
I
I'm an
know.
emotional person. Thank
Mm.
you, my sister. God bless and God will
Thank
continue
you.
to help you, uphold you. I've
Amen.
committed
Amen.
myself. I'm going to buy 10 of your books.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going
Thank you
to pay
so
into the
much.
Nigeria because I'm in the United States. I'm going to pay
Yeah.
into the Nigeria account.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
don't know, is there any way I can get 3 more? I have 3 teenagers. I want to buy 3 for them. I
Yeah.
don't know, Auntie B. I don't know how I can
Yeah.
get it. Maybe I can get
Yeah.
through her to,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
If you're in
Just
the
send me
UK,
a
you say you're in
message.
the UK
No,
I'm in the US.
she's in the US. The
or in
children
the
are in
US?
Nigeria.
My
Yeah.
children in Nigeria.
Yeah. Contact me privately on WhatsApp and then we can get
Okay. Can I put the money with the
their
10 I
contact
want
details and
to the
when she
10
gets
the
to
10 I'm
Nigeria.
donating? Should I put the 3 with it?
Yes, you
Oh,
will.
the three you want to
You
buy for
can
your
do that,
children.
ma.
No, okay. All right, thank you, my sister. Auntie B, thank you. I
So pay
really
for
love
the
you.
10 you are donating and three. The 10 you are
Okay.
donating and the three for your children, and Esther will
That'll be
see that it's delivered to them.
39,000.
Yeah. So
Okay.
just send me their
Okay.
contacts. Yeah. Just
I
send me the
will.
contact details of
Okay.
of how to get to them. All
All
right.
right.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Ola. I
you, my
appreciate you,
sister.
sis. God
God
bless
bless
you.
us all.
Amen. God was preparing you for that journey ahead. You didn't know, but now I think it's becoming clearer now. Essay, that
Yeah.
everything that you went through is what has prepared you for what you are doing now. And
You
this
know.
is very, very, it's incredible that you even have the heart, because it's not everybody that can even give back, to go back and say, I'm going to talk to these children. I want to help. I want to create the awareness. Someone was saying that you should contact the ladies at The View, so maybe we can
Okay.
look at that so that you can also go to television, when you get
Okay.
to Nigeria, to speak to them about it. So those who are not in school, they can also have that opportunity to hear about it. And then maybe Nigerians are very generous. They like to give, and people can just, key into the dream. Adewale, you're welcome.
Good evening, Aunty V. Good evening, Mrs. Esse. Thank you for sharing your story. I believe you've helped a lot of people on this platform and people who are going to watch after this live show. So I'm just going to talk about one lesson I learned from your story. Um, I think I heard someone say that as parents, God Almighty has made us custodians of our children.
Amen.
That they're not properties that we just do whatever we like with. And when we leave this earth, that we're going to be asked about that assignment God has given to us. And this thing about giving our children to different members of family members is very, very common in Nigeria. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
about any other African country. It's very, very common in Nigeria. I can't count how many times my father's family members or my mother's family members had asked my parents to, have me come stay with them so they can ease the burden of my parents. And my dad refused. My mother refused at the time. And I'm grateful they did. But I know
Mm.
there are a lot of people on this platform who are thinking of doing that. Even people in diaspora who
Mm-hmm.
sometimes send their kids
Send their
back to
children to
Nigeria
Africa. Yeah.
to teach them some kind of lesson or make them tough. You don't actually make your children tough. You're playing with fire. You're 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 playing with a huge risk that your children might not survive from. So please and please and please, God has given you an assignment to raise these children. Don't send them anywhere. If you know you
Amen.
can't take care of any children, don't give birth to as many children as you want. Have children that you can raise because that's an assignment for you. They're not properties that you just send around. You don't once your children are not with you, you don't know what's happening to them. No one can raise your children like you do. No one. No one. To other people, they're just going to be little strangers to them. Even if the person is your sister or your brother, they can't raise your children like you would. Because that assignment is meant for you and you alone, not someone else. So that's all I wanted to say. And thank you again for sharing your story because a lot of people have learned from your story and I think it's going to prevent what happened to you. It's going to prevent what happened to you to someone else in the future, or it's going to
Thank
make
you.
someone who's going through this heal
To
and
speak up
be able to
and
speak
get
up.
help. Hmm.
Yeah. So thank you, and to
Thank
be
you.
once
Thank you so
again.
much,
That's all I wanted
Adewale.
to say.
Adewale for president. Thank you so much, sweetie. Onyade is asking, why not on Amazon? So the book is on Amazon. I've showed it here. But the reason why I'm not asking you people to rush to Amazon and go and buy it is because she's going to do this in Nigeria. So there's a lot of logistics that will be involved if you start buying it on Amazon. So it's better they buy it in Nigeria since it's already in Nigeria. Okay? So instead of buying more number one, on Amazon it's more expensive. She's giving it out
Exactly.
at a
I was
lower
going to say
cost
that.
because this is the cost. So that's Amazon you can see there. It's £11 90 pence. So maybe in dollars it'll be around maybe $12. So it's cheaper to buy it in Nigeria and they don't need to ship it. It's already
Yeah, and it's
so
in
that's why we
Canada
are
it's
doing money
15
to buy it
because
in Nigeria. It's $15 in Canada.
yes, in Canada, in Canadian dollars, because my best friend lives there. That's how much she bought it
Okay, so
when
it's
she checked it. Yeah, so the one that you're buying for
yeah, it's
15
definitely
or
cheaper to
12
buy it
can
in
buy
Nigeria.
3 or 4 copies in Nigeria. So
You can buy 3 copies in Nigeria.
yeah.
So let's buy it in Naira. It's cheaper in Naira. That's what we're doing. I hope it answers your question. Okay, Onyade. So send your if you want to buy, please do that. The details to buy is on the screen. So we're rounding up now. Done 2 hours. Sticky Shack, unmute yourself, please. You're next. Can you hear me? Tiki Shack? Unmute yourself, Tiki Shack.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Go
Hey, can
ahead.
you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, let me mute my tablet. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, hello everybody. Hey, Dominic and Omani Love and Omalola Love. Hey, Dominic and Omani Love and Omalola Love.
You need to move
Okay,
your
Obodo
YouTube off
Yubo, hi, how are
completely. We're still
you?
hearing you in the
So
background.
I just wanted to say, thank you so much. Okay, Obodo Yubo, hi, how are you? So I just wanted to
Okay,
Okay, let me
so
mute
I
it real
think,
quick.
yeah,
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, better.
yes.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to say, hey, essay, and writing a book is actually a really good thing you did. And I have a similar story to yours, but mine isn't as bad. And it's actually like uncles and cousins who actually did whatever they did. But the funny thing is, they actually called me and told me they were sorry. So I feel like I've forgiven them, and I really don't just want to keep going back and forth with stuff like that. But the issue I have with them is they call themselves Christians and they're supposedly like missionary and they worship God, blah, 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 whatever. So with this whole thing that has happened between us, I have had my resentment for almost 10 plus years and I didn't actually talk to them, and we all live in the United States. But um so I actually did try to reach out to them, and being so right now I even battle being a Christian because I don't understand what Christianity is. If Christianity is all about keeping malice and keeping grudges. But anywho, long story short, I made it upon myself to call them and reach out and be like, okay, since your dad died, honestly, I live with them and their dad was actually really nice to me. It wasn't a bad situation, but it was just a little weird. But long story short, I reached out to say, okay, hello, how are you, blah blah blah, and they didn't seem to be interested in that. So I kind of just let bygone be bygone. And right now I'm married with 2 kids. It was just a whole drama, like with my marriage and everything. But I thank God where I am. I'm doing well. I don't have to depend on anybody. And I'm just really moved by you writing this book, and I have donated $50 to buy how many books
Oh,
they
thank
can
you.
buy from it.
Thank you.
And yeah, so I was really moved, and eventually I'm going to buy some books for me and my 2 kids to read, just to
Thank
have an
you.
understanding why I do not like sending them to Nigeria to stay with anybody, no uncles. In fact, I'm very distant from my family.
Mm,
It's sad, but I am very distant, and
yeah.
I'm sure they're probably listening now, and I don't really care because I'm my own person now. I'm very independent. I don't I actually don't depend on anybody. I'm very independent, and everybody who has spoken the truth. You have to have self-worth and self dependency on yourself, and just be who you are. One thing I
Mm,
love about me is I love being honest and speaking the truth. And that has always been an issue. Even when uncles and whoever tried to touch me at 9 years old, I always spoke my mind. And that has actually helped me along the line.
mm,
But it gets harder when it's done by people who are actually close to you, like your cousins, your cousin brothers. And so it wasn't anything bad. It was just more like peeping at you when you're taking a shower and just crazy stuff
Um,
like that. But
mm.
anywho, I just wanted
Thank
to
you.
chip in, and I've been
Thank you
trying
so
to like
much.
come on this
Yeah.
StreamYard for a while, but
Hmm. Thank you.
I always have to log down. Hey Obodoyinbo, I know you've reprimanded me so many times with my crazy talk in the comment section.
You know you talk crazy. You know you do.
Anyway, I still love you.
I
Hopefully
love you too.
one
But
day
stop talking crazy.
I can't help it. This is just me. But
Thank
anywho,
you.
hopefully
Mm,
one day I'll get to Europe and visit you,
no
Amani
problem.
Love, and Dominic.
All right. Thank you so much, darling. Have a nice day. God bless you, Tiki Shack. You have self awareness, so you know you're always talking, you're always talking crazy. In the comment section, her comments. Oh my goodness, outrageous. She hardly comes in, so for her to come in today, this topic is important to her. That's why she's here.
um,
Thank you, Tiki
bless
Shack.
her. Bless
Thank you
her.
for donating as well. God bless you. All right, Dominic. Hello, sweetie.
Auntie B, have far? It's been a long time.
I do. You even show us your pretty face today. Where have you been? Everybody has been looking for you. Where is Dominic? Where is
Ah,
Dominic? I said Dominic is
it's been
fine, I'm
crazy.
sure.
How
Oh,
have you been
Bele.
anyways? You've been
I'm
okay,
good.
Abby?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. Been
Okay.
busy, but it's all right.
Welcome, Esse. I've been watching your live at playback actually. Welcome, Esse. Thank you so much for your story. I think it's crazy how much child abuse there is actually back home, which has just been covered up. And I think earlier on you mentioned that you even wanted to reconcile with your aunt at some point, asking her, "What did you do to me?" I just want to bring that point on because I think it's very difficult as a child, even as an adult, to accept the abuse you've had as a child. And sometimes you always want to reconcile because you think to better the story. Do you know what I mean? Because you want your story to be
Have a
good. You
happy
want,
ending.
yes, you want happy ending, but sometimes there isn't one. And I think sometimes by looking for happy ending, we sometimes expose innocent people. Because like your mom said, your mom probably knew the behavior of your elder, your auntie, but didn't think it was a big deal because there was a need for that happy ending. You know, we're a big family, we don't do anything. And sometimes we underestimate the badness of people. And then what happens is the children who are the innocent one actually get abused. So I think for your story, if I may say something, I think it's important for you to know your story has already had the happy ending you're looking for. It doesn't need to have another happy ending, which is you reconcile with your aunt or whatever. You're married to a handsome man, you have your child, you know, you have your home settled, you have your project to go to Nigeria. That is the best happy ending you can ever have. But I think sometimes our mind, especially because we've been abused, the mindset is, I want my abuse to have a better story. And the better story I want in my abuse is, I want my abuser to say they're sorry. I want us to reconcile. I want this. But that is just the abused mind that is thinking that. So sometimes, like you said yourself, like to elevate yourself from that and to say positive thought. I think also one of the things is to say, that is not part of my story, because the abuse is almost like somebody's breaking into your house and you keep trying to fortify your house to make sure no one breaks in again, rather than say, actually, the fact that they broke in is their abnormality. I don't have to make my life being conditioned by that one abnormal thing that happened to me, if that makes sense. And I think it's
Yes,
very important. It's so good that you said when you met your husband was very accepting of you, meaning the husband wasn't like, oh, you need to, why are you not talking to your aunt? Why are you not talking to this person? Because some people can do that, especially when they've had these perfect families, when there's not been any drama. They want to make you into that person. But the good thing is, you said you met your husband, he accepted you as you were. You said you have siblings, but you're only close to, I think you said 2 of them, and he was okay with that. And it's very important because you can say now you've had your happy ending. There's nothing else I need to be. And
I
I
don't
think
know what's more happy than what she has now. I
yes,
don't
there's
know what is
nothing else.
more
You don't
happy.
have to reconcile
All
with
the
your
things
aunt.
they say you couldn't do, you've done them.
You've
You
done. So
went to
there's
school.
nothing
You even
else.
have a master's. And on
yes,
top
I
of
do.
that, you have various certification. You are a
There's
life
nothing
coach.
else.
You are this,
And the
you are
thing is,
that. All those certificates where you gather. You have a child, you are married, you are doing well.
there's
So
nothing else.
there's
But that
nothing on that
pain,
road, that door. Please
there's
don't go
not.
back to that
And the
woman.
trauma you've been through will sometimes try to remind you, like you said, sometimes you were depressed because of your aunt, because that trauma will always try to come up and say, maybe you should do something. But just looking into the eyes of your child, I don't know if it's a boy or girl, of your child, and say, no, just look inside the eyes and say, no, I don't need anything else. Because the lie will keep coming because you've spent years being abused. So the lie has been fortified for several years. So you've delivered yourself from the attachment you have to the lie. That doesn't mean the lie don't want to keep trying to come back. So every time you want to come back, just say, no, I have my husband, I have my child. There's nothing else I need. Even if your aunt come back and say, I'm sorry, you say, it's okay.
Why
I
would you
forgive
not
you,
want
but
her
please,
near your child?
let's
I'm
be on
shocked.
our own distance. Because there's also
Forbid.
something, I'll say that and I'll go. Auntie B, I'll be quick.
But you've done 4 minutes, only three minutes I'm giving. Dominique, you know
So
your
one
time. You
minute.
always do a
One
lecture.
thing, Auntie B, see now, you made me forget what I was about to say now. It was very important as well, even.
Sorry.
This one,
Remember, please try to
I was like,
remember.
Betty,
Yeah, try and remember. Be thinking about it.
So
I'm summarizing. I said I will do 2 hours. I am really tired. Oh yeah. Finish. Say
Oh
what you have
yeah.
to say while
I'll
Dominic
finish.
is
Oh,
thinking.
Auntie Bio, there was such a good thought. You see what you
Yeah,
did.
start thinking
Anyways,
about it while Omoye finish so that we can go. I need to go.
Dominic,
okay, no break, no
you
breaks.
look beautiful. My goodness, I haven't seen you in that long. Look at how beautiful you. Hey, you
Thank
must
you.
tell you and Sister Bimo that they report to herself, because this the fine one that if I not can understand again.
Now they learn from now. Me, I they learn from the you youngest now. Me, I don't
Not
old.
talk, Sister B. You are we they learn from you. I beg, I beg, I beg. Oh my
Oh yeah,
God.
you know
Esse,
serious.
you're such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. I want you to know that for yourself. This is not my gift to you today.
Thank you.
Recognize say, your beauty, it knows no bounds. You fine, you fine on a life, as you say. Look
You
at all.
fine. You
You
match your husband
fine.
fine. Both of them are fine together.
Both of una,
Fineness meet
your husband,
fineness. So now
correct
picking go over
man.
fine.
Correct man, no God go bless that man. Two of una
Amen.
love, the
Amen.
fire
They
of love
listen,
where
oh,
they
Baba T,
burn.
they pray for you.
The fire of love where two of una get,
Yeah.
he go they renew every day. As una look into
Amen.
each
Amen.
other, una go they renew, they renew. Now so it go be my prayer
Amen.
for now. And I
Thank you.
really, really appreciate you coming to share this story. You have no idea. You have set
Thank
a lot
you.
of people free. You have broken chains and continue to do what you do. I personally, I would support you as much as I can because I
Thank you
love the
so
fact
much.
that you are doing this. We need more warriors like you on the ground, And Sister B, hey, say the love, oh,
It's real.
the love when I get
It's
for
real. It's
you,
mutual. The feeling is
eh?
mutual. Thank
I,
you.
I feel fight with khaki shot for your sake.
Say na khaki. So you go strong well, so that if person try to tear am, you no go
What
fit
you they
tear.
talk?
And so the shots go strong
Na
reach.
so dada ò lè jà ó làbúrò tó gbọ́kànlé àjà tí they talk na so. Eh?
Thank you. Thank you
Woo!
very
Thank
much.
you so much. Oh. Thank
Have a
you,
good
thank you. Love
afternoon.
you guys. Abemona like this video.
Like the video.
Mona
Like the
like
video.
oh. Love you
Dominic,
all.
thank
Yes,
you.
I
Oh, yeah.
remembered.
Thank you.
You remembered, you
I
see?
remembered.
Mm. Oh, yeah,
Let me
say it.
just say, and I'm going to go. The quick one I was about to say is once you've been abused and someone has done something for you, to you, sorry, there's a period when you go to healing that you feel like you really want the person to come back and apologize.
Mhm.
If the person doesn't come back and apologize during that time frame, you need to completely move on. That means
Okay.
that even if in the future they want to come back and apologize, you say, it's okay, but I'm done there. Because as Christian, we have to believe in God's timing. Because
Yeah.
if it was like God wanted you to reconcile at the time you wanted to reconcile, that person will have come back. But if you've liberated it from your heart and you say that's okay and you move forward and the person change or whatever, you have to keep going forward. Because always remember, you can't give more credit to your past than your future. Okay, your past has already taken what it's supposed to take. You can't then
Mhm.
use your present to reminisce on the past. You need to give your future a chance and a complete chance and just let your past go and say, this is what has happened to me, but it is not who I am. So that's all I wanted to say. So thank
Thank
you,
you.
Auntie
Thank
B.
you,
Thank you, Esther.
Dominic.
Bye.
You're
Thank you so much,
welcome, darling.
Dominic. Thank
Thank you
you.
for all my Christmas present. I will keep thanking you. You're such a generous. I like her love language. Her love language is giving. She can give
Mm.
gifts, and I love that. That's one of my best love language. Oh my God! So we're rounding up now. Please don't come into the studio anymore because we've done 2 hours and a half. So in
Wow.
summary, what do you have to say? You see how time goes.
Yeah, I know.
In
I didn't even
conclusion,
think we were going to last. Yeah, in conclusion, well, my ministry or my message is to people who have experienced abuse and are still dealing with the effects or are still going through abuse. I just want to say to you that you need to choose yourself. Choose you over everything, over everyone. You know, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, yeah, choose you first. Work on you. You know, what I do through my life coaching is healing, growth, and love. Heal yourself of everything that you've been through in your past. Don't let it define you. If you don't let that happen, then you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. What I
amen.
see in my marriage today is what I prayed for, is what I used to have conversations with God about the kind of man I wanted to marry. And every day, and to be, you can testify to the fact that my marriage is a happy marriage.
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
it's not because we don't have issues or we don't quarrel once
Yeah.
in a while,
Yeah, you
but
married a good man. Yeah, you married a good man.
yes,
Yeah. You married a good man. Yeah.
and he's a good man because I didn't want to
He's
settle.
actually a great man. He's great.
I didn't want to settle.
Yeah.
He is though. He's
It's
my
not just that he's good looking.
everything.
He's a good, decent human being.
He has a great heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
His heart is you. It's just that you can't describe a human being as flawless.
Yeah.
I would say I would say that my husband is flawless. And it's not because I'm here and I want to paint him like, no. God sent him to me for me to complete my healing,
Amen.
and I want the people who are still struggling to know that if you desire it enough, you will
You will
have
have
it.
him. Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Esse, for being here. I appreciate you. And of course, we are going to follow up to see how we can support furthermore with this creating this awareness and education in Nigeria. And yeah, we just want to say thank you to everyone. I'll speak to you later. Thank you so much for being here. I'm just going to round up
Thank you so
now.
much, Aunty B, for having me, and
No
thank you for
problem.
everything that you've done. I love you so much.
Thank you.
In fact, I don't know who is your biggest fan, but I'm struggling to push that person off,
You go fight,
off that
oh,
number one
you go
position.
fight that khaki short nigga. That
No,
short
me, I go turn
nigga.
my own with leather. I go add leather, ostrich leather to my own khaki.
No
You know.
wahala. Space
But
there for
thank you. God
everybody.
bless you.
Thank you, my darling. I'll catch up with you at some point tomorrow. Make I tell you how much you
Okay.
don't raise. But I think
Okay.
we're raising money. Money is still coming in. I'm receiving a donation on Cash App and Nigerian account. I can see some alerts. Please keep them coming. Oh, God bless you. God
Thank you,
bless you.
everyone. Thank you so
Thank
much to
you.
everybody who listened in, who has supported, contributed, who have spoken one word of kindness or prayer to me. God bless you. I love and appreciate you all. And to be, some people were asking for my contact. Someone said they wanted to
Okay. I'll put
yeah,
it in
maybe.
when the video is finished exporting, then I'll put it in the comment section. I'll pin it there so they can have
Okay.
it. I'll put all your social media handles there so they can get in touch with you.
All right. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Have a good evening. Bye bye T. I hail. Oh. I don't
Bye.
say you did background there. I hail.
The producer, the director, has backstage.
I don't say you did there. I hail you. Well done. Well
Thank you
done.
so much. Thank you so much. I
No
appreciate you.
problem.
Thank you
No
so much.
problem.
God
Have a
bless
good
you.
evening, guys. Love you
All
guys.
right.
Bye,
Bye.
sweetie.
Love you
Bye.
too.
Bye. So that is Esse, and she's come to share her story. Thank you, Jumi, for your super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you to everyone that has contributed towards buying this book. We need to get as many of them as we can to those schools in Nigeria. If you are picking this up later, you are watching, please, I encourage you. This is a good place to sow. This is helping children who have no voice. Esse has, she's determined to take this message all across public schools in Lagos State and in Delta State. She's starting from there. With enough funding, I'm sure she will do more than that. So what we are trying to do is to buy as many books as possible, and then she will take it to the schools, do a sensitization, program in the public schools, and then stock their library with these books so that the children in those schools can read and they will identify Uncle Dave. They will know that it is not okay. And this will help them in whatever they are going through in their respective families and in their background. So thank you so much to everyone that has contributed tonight. I love and appreciate you guys so much. I don't take you for granted. God bless you. If you are catching this later, please be a part of it. And, like Esse said, choose yourself, love yourself, do the work if you are experiencing any childhood trauma. But always know that the devil, you see this devil, they attack person when you not get anything, no. Person when glory, they shine. If you've never had any attack in your life, you've never had any struggles, just know say they leave you for a reason. But when you start to have from childhood, you start to have all this palaver in your life, wow, you will know that there's something that is ahead of you that those demonic people have seen. Those witches and wizards that are flying in the day can see. And that's why they are trying to kill your light, but they cannot, because you know what? At the end of the day, God passed them. So if you want to buy it for yourself, of course, you can buy it on Amazon. Buy it on Amazon. It's on Amazon. I'll share the link here quickly. Uh, you can buy it on Amazon if you want to buy it. But for the ones that we are doing to raise money to buy it for public schools in Nigeria, please send cash so that we can buy it in Nigeria, because it's cheaper in Nigeria to buy. Okay, but if you desire to have a copy of the book, please, that's the link. I will also put it when we round up the show. Buy it on Amazon. Is £11.70. Thank you so much, everyone. My next live show is on Tuesday, and I will see you guys then. Thank you so much, everyone. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. I love and appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you on Thursday night at 7 p.m. GMT. God bless you. Bye-bye.